Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Ryan's computer was overheating, and so we didn't get to catch the first inning of action, but it was the top of the first inning, as Max Porter, the center fielder for the Coastal Clubs, he grounded out to the third baseman on 3 pitches. Nick Seiler, he struck out looking on 3 pitches, and then Zach Morris just hit a hard ground ball right up the middle, hit off of Chris Torres, the starting pitcher for the Oaks, his foot, and then Torres threw it over to first after he regained composure. Capozzi caught the ball and tagged the runner out. His foot was off the bag, but he tagged the runner out. It was a 1-2-3 inning on 7 pitches for Chris Torres as we're about to get set for the bottom of the first inning. Sorry for the technical difficulties. But starting lineups for the Coastal Cubs, Max Porter, the center fielder, like I just said. Nick Seiler follows him. He's at shortstop. Zach Morris, the right fielder, he's number 24. He's batting third. Antonio Andrade, he's the first baseman. He's number 11A. Taylor Trachtenberg, he's the third baseman, number 19. Brandon Lawrence, the catcher, he's batting 6. He's number 18. Jordan Harris, the second baseman, he's wearing number 11B. Trent Settlemeyer, he's the DH. He's batting 8th. He's number 13A. And Isaiah Fleming, the left fielder, he's batting 9th, and he's number 2. So defensively, if you go around, Fleming, the left fielder, Porter, the center fielder, Morris, the right fielder. On the infield, Trachtenberg, the third baseman, Seiler, the shortstop, Harris, the second baseman, Andrade, the first baseman, Fitzharris, the man on the mound. That's Matt Fitzharris, that is. And Lawrence, the catcher. As we now turn to the Conejo Oaks lineup, leading off is going to be the right fielder, number 17, Austin Carrillo, followed by Raul Sandoval, the center fielder. He's number 14. Brendan Durfee, the DH, he's going to be batting in a 3-hole spot today. He's number 24. Number 15, Grant Smith, the shortstop today. He's going to be cleanup. He's followed by the 5-hole hitter, Robert Capozzi. He's the first baseman, wearing number 36. Reagan Burford, the second baseman, he'll follow Capozzi, batting in the 6th spot. He's number 1. Andrew Sharp, the left fielder, number 30 in the 7th spot. Cody Sulak getting the start today behind the dish. His first start of the season, and it'll be his first at-bat of the season when he comes up to the plate. He's number 6. And then Caden Suji, who's normally a catcher, he'll be playing third base today. He's number 43. And already to the bottom of the first, we're about to go. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you. And, you know, yesterday the Oaks won a gritty one, 4-3 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. And, Ryan, talk about that performance. It was a CCL. A lot more players in the GCCL playing in JUCO and smaller level schools. In the CCL, there's a lot of JUCO players, but a lot more D1 players. So that's the difference. A little bit higher level in the CCL as the 1-2 misses high again. It's now 2-2 to Carrillo. Carrillo this season is batting .313 on the year. Does have 3 RBIs. His first time in the leadoff spot. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Carrillo goes down swinging on 5 pitches. Already 1 out for Matt Fitzharris.
Now batting, the center fielder, Raul Sandoval.
Now up to the plate is number 14, Raul Sandoval. He's the center fielder. Sandoval steps in. He's going to be at UC Davis in the fall. He's at Oxnard College. As the first pitch to him misses low, it's now 1-0 to Sandoval. Sandoval at Oxnard College hit .293 with 6 home runs and 32 RBIs before going to UC Davis. Going to be a walk-on there as the pitch to him is in there for a strike, and the count's even at 1-1. Sandoval missed a couple of games earlier in the year with the Oaks. That was due to a hamstring injury. His first time ever injuring that hamstring. Caused him to be a little bit gingerly as he's now the center fielder as he takes a strike. It's now 1-2 to Sandoval. Sandoval didn't play yesterday, but did play a couple days ago. Saw him warming up yesterday for a potential pinch runner situation after Zach Gregory got hit by a pitch as the 1-2 pitch misses outside. It's now 2-2 to Sandoval. Back-to-back 2-2 counts for Matt Fitzharris. Carrillo had a 2-2 count before striking out to start the inning. So now 1 out, the 2-hole hitter, Raul Sandoval at the plate. The 2-2 pitch is fouled away, and the 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Sandoval. Matt Fitzharris, going to be a freshman in the fall. He's going to be at Santa Barbara City College. It's the same college as Hunter Call for the Conejo Oaks and Scott Radinsky Jr. They're both going to be playing in Santa Barbara at City College. As the 2-2 pitch misses outside, it's now 3-2 to Sandoval. It's a full count. So far, 11 pitches in the game for Fitzharris, as the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Sandoval. And the payoff pitch is fouled away, and now we have another full count opportunity. It's the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up, and you can see Cody Adcock run over and give some balls to the umpire. A couple of foul balls went out of play.
And I believe we have finally ironed out all of the technical issues, so apologies for the poor broadcast throughout the first 4 outs of this ball game. Hopefully it will remain steady.
The payoff pitch swung on and missed. It's the 2nd K of the day for Matt Fitzharris. And already an 8-pitch at bat followed by preceded by a 5-pitch at bat. So 13 pitches in, 2 Ks for Matt Fitzharris.
And a quick game recap, just in case you missed it during all the technical difficulties. In the top half of the inning, Chris Torres got the start on the hill for the Oaks. A 1-2-3 inning for him that included a 3-pitch strikeout to the 2-hole hitter. And now Matt Fitzharris, he has 2 strikeouts here.
Durfee grounds this one right back to the pitcher. Fitzharris flipped over to first. Andrade is there. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 1st inning. So no runs on no hits, no runners left on. We head to the top of the 2nd inning, still tied 0-0. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 2nd inning, Torres fires, and the first pitch to Andrade misses outside. It's 1-0 to Andrade.
The name actually pronounced Andrade.
Andrade, my bad. The 2nd pitch to Andrade misses inside again. Now this one's 2-0 to Andrade. Andrade, the first.
He actually got clipped by that pitch.
Oh. Did not look like it hit him from up here. It looked pretty inside, but it didn't seem like it got him. Did it look like it got him to you, Ryan?
It definitely grazed his arm a little bit. It was close, but he wore it and the umpire saw it.
Looked like it missed his jersey for sure. Maybe he did get the elbow. Nevertheless, runner on first. Torres fires over first. Runner in there safely. So 1-2-3 inning for both pitchers. Chris Torres 1-2-3 in the first after getting Max Porter to ground out to the third baseman, Seiler to strike out looking, and Morris to ground out back to Torres. As now Trachtenberg flies this one foul to Capozzi. He is out. It's an F3. And now coming up to the plate is Brandon Lawrence, the catcher.
The catcher, Brandon Lawrence.
So far in the game, Torres has thrown 12 pitches, has recorded 4 outs. Runner on first as Torres fires over, almost overshot Capozzi. That'd be a hard thing to do. Capozzi 6'8", the first baseman. But nevertheless, Capozzi reaches up his left hand, gets the high throw to him, and now the runner's on first. Torres nods his head, throws, and that one's in there for a strike. It's 0-1 to Lawrence. Torres talked pregame. Seems like every pitcher wants to do this strategy, but today he just really wanted to focus on throwing strikes. Right here, throws a first pitch strike to Lawrence. Runner goes as this one's grounded up the middle, gets past the diving Burford. Heading over to third is Andrade. And it's a one-out single for Brandon Lawrence. And now runners on the corners with one away. And coming out to the plate is the second baseman, Jordan Harris.
Now batting, the second baseman, Jordan Harris.
So after Andrade got hit by a pitch on the third pitch of the at-bat, he got to first. Then he went on the last pitch. That was to Brandon Lawrence as he singled one up the middle. As Lawrence now heads to second. Sulak catches it but does not throw, so Lawrence into second safely. It's 1-0 the count to Jordan Harris. So now 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out. Torres on the mound. Looks back to second. Now delivers to the dish. This one popped out and foul over the Cubs dugout. Counts even at 1-1 to Harris. Chris Torres, undecided where he's going to play. He's going to have to make a decision soon. Said he's going to make a decision by July 1st. That's early next week. As this one's grounded the shortstop Smith, the runner's going to come in to score. Over to first to Capozzi, and Harris is retired on the 6-3 play. But Andrade comes in to score, and the Cubs take a 1-0 lead.
And this is shocking because coming in, the Cubs, they're a team in a lower league in the GCCL. It's not quite to the same stature of the CCL. So for them to jump ahead early, get a run, it's incredibly impressive for them to jump ahead.
First pitch to Settlemeyer is in there for a strike, catches the plate. It's now 0-1 to Settlemeyer. So far in the inning, Andrade hit by a pitch, advanced to second and third after he tried to steal second. It was a hit and run from Lawrence. He got to third. Lawrence then stole second as Settlemeyer swings and fouls this one away. It's now 0-2 to him. Prior to Lawrence being at the plate, Trachtenberg flew out to the Capozzi in foul territory. So after the Lawrence single, he stole second. Then Harris just grounded out to Smith. That brought in Andrade. Now we have Lawrence on third and 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch misses high. Torres trying to elevate that fastball, get a swing from Settlemeyer. He holds back. It's now 1-2 with 2 outs. Torres set. The pitch. This one's lifted high in the air. Smith, the shortstop, coming over. Burford also in the area. Smith calls him off, makes the play, and the inning is over. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. We head to the bottom of the second inning. The Oaks, they trail 1-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. And the first pitch to Smith is lined to left field. Diving play is made by Fleming. Wow, what a play to start the bottom of the second inning.
And right there, Grant Smith, first pitch hunting, saw a pitch that he liked, center cut fastball, was able to drive it into left field, but right at Fleming, who had to take a few steps in and then an athletic diving play in order to record the out.
And now coming up to the plate is Robert Capozzi, the first baseman. So far, 4 batters up for the Oaks, 4 outs recorded. As Fitzharris fires, that one misses outside to Capozzi. It's now 1-0. Capozzi didn't play yesterday, but has played a little bit throughout the season. One of the leaders on the team in batting average, batting .375 on the year. As Capozzi swings and grounds this one foul down the first base line. It's now 1-1 to Capozzi. Capozzi has 21 plate appearances, 16 at bats, has 6 hits on the year. 4 of them have been singles, 2 of them have been doubles. Also has 5 walks. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside corner. It's now 1-2 to Capozzi.
And Capozzi has been a pure results-oriented, and what that means is that he gets on base, whether it be a hit, walk, or he strikes out. He does not put the ball in play and get out that way.
Capozzi grounds this one to the shortstop. Seiler bobbles it, and Capozzi's going to reach first safely. It's an air 6.
And that one, I thought I jinxed Capozzi, as he's only had 3 at-bats this season in which that have ended in not a walk, strikeout, or a hit. That time, he grounds one hard to shortstop, just too strong for Seiler to handle, and gets aboard at first base. So still someone who does not get out when he puts the ball in play.
Now up to the plate is the second baseman, number 1, Reagan Burford. He's batting in the 6th spot today. Saw him at the 5 spot yesterday. As the first pitch to Burford misses inside for a ball. Burford yesterday hit a single in the 2nd and 4th innings, but in the 5th inning he grounded out to the shortstop, and in the 8th inning he struck out swinging. So 2 outs after 2 hits yesterday. Burford swings and a miss. It's now even at 1-1 to Burford. Runner on first, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 the score. The Coastal Cubs, they lead. They scored an RBI ground out by Jordan Harris. That brought in Antonio Andrade. As Burford fouls this one away, it's now 1-2.
Reagan Burford right now trying to battle back from behind in the count. He's been successful at the plate recently, but he has not seen himself behind in counts very often. Especially yesterday. He only saw 2 strikes once, and that ended in a strikeout.
Capozzi dives back safely after Fitzharris threw back to first. Andrade, the first baseman there. Nevertheless, 1-2 the count, 1 out, runner on first. Reagan Burford, the Ole Miss product. He's at the plate. The pitch, curveball, but Burford fouls this one away. 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Burford.
And for Burford right there, I think that he could have just let that ball go by. It was a curveball that started at him, dove back towards the zone, but definitely still would have stayed on the inside part of the plate. Burford with 2 strikes trying to protect.
Burford, a young man that's also really good at chess. In a chess match here, 1-2 the count, as Burford fouls this one away. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Burford.
And this is the first time for Fitzharris that we've really had to see him battle. We saw a count against Raul Sandoval that got worked full, but against Burford here, now Burford fighting in the count. 2 foul pitches already, 5 pitches already in this at-bat, about to see the 6th. Fitzharris has to execute his pitch as well.
I don't know. I think it was a battle against Sandoval. That was an 8-pitch at bat there. But still, in another one here. The pitch, and Burford grounds this to the second baseman. Harris over to Seiler to first. in there safely as Burford. Burford beats out the throw, but Capozzi out at second. And now a runner on first after the fielder's choice to Reagan Burford.
The left fielder, Andrew Sharp.
It was a 7-pitch at bat. Up to the plate now is the left fielder, Andrew Sharp. He steps in. He's going to be playing left field today. Seen Sharp behind the plate as a catcher, and we've also seen him in left field here today. Although he's listed as a catcher, as the throw over to first from Fitzharris, Burford in there safely. Though he's listed as a catcher, he likes to be a utility man. Has been working on his speed to be a better outfielder. The lefty stands in. The first pitch to him misses outside. It's now 1-0. Sharp this season batting .235, 17 at bats, has 4 hits. 3 of them have been singles. 1 was a double. It's a huge double the other day as he fouls this one down the line. Goes foul. It's right down the line. Looked like it was fair, and then it curved foul.
And it actually had so much spin that it was close to curving back fair. We saw Fitzharris on the hill slide and make the stop to make sure that it was not in fair territory and didn't come back. And actually, I think it might be a new pitcher on the mound this inning. We see Dylan Furseth, number 3, if the numbers are correct. It is number 3 on the hill.
So it is a new pitcher, not Fitzharris. It's Furseth.
Furseth.
Similar bodies in throwing motion. Hardly noticed. Burford on first. Sharp at the dish. The pitch. Sharp swings and misses. And Sharp falls behind now 1-2. Sharp on the season has struck out 6 times in those 17 at-bats. Hoping to avoid his 7th strikeout of the year right here. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. 1-2 the score. As Sharp fouls this one away. Looked like Sharp wasn't ready for that one. Looked like he brought his bat down, but then all of a sudden, that Furseth was firing towards the dish, and then Sharp had to swing.
Sharp was successful at the plate the last time he came to the dish. That was 2 games ago. He saw 4 plate appearances. He reached base 3 times, including 2 singles.
The 1-2 pitch. And Sharp is caught looking, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Furseth, and that'll do it for the bottom of the second inning. So, no runs on no hits, 1 error. We head to the top of the third inning, and it's 1-0 the Cubs lead. Up to the plate now is the left fielder Isaiah Fleming. As he stands in with his team leading 1-0 against the Conejo Oaks, the Coastal Cubs, the away team. As the first pitch to him showed bunt, catches the outside corner. It's now 0-1 to Fleming. So far, for the Cubs, it was a 1-2-3 inning in the first. Then in the second, as Torres fires, that one, a curveball misses outside. It's even at 1-1. The second, Antonio Andrade, he got hit by a pitch on his third pitch of the at-bat. He then made it all the way around to score after an RBI ground out from Jordan Harris. As this one's fouled away by Fleming, it's now 1-2. So only one single allowed from Chris Torres. That was to Brandon Lawrence, the catcher, the 6-hitter. But besides that and the hit by pitch, he's been flawless. As the pitch is swung on and missed in the dirt, Sulak throws over to first. Capozzi taps on the base. That one's in time, and Fleming is gone swinging on 4 pitches. And now coming up to the plate is the leadoff man, Max Porter.
And that's when it pays to have a tall first baseman like Robert Capozzi. Sulak left the throw down a little bit high. Capozzi, his tall frame, able to go up, squeeze it, and then come down on the bag before the runner was able to get to first.
The first pitch to Porter, curveball inside, misses the zone. It's now 1-0.
I was talking with Chris Torres before the game. He said he likes to open up counts with that first pitch slider. Right there, he said if his slider wasn't working, he'd go with the curveball.
Torres misses again, this one high. It's now 2-0 to Porter.
But he likes to slow batters down with an off-speed pitch to start off the count and then comes back and ramps it up with a fastball once he gets ahead. That not pertinent in this count as he is behind 2-0.
Porter, his first time up, had a 2-0 count before grounding out. This one catches the inside corner. It's now 2-1, so Porter's going to see another pitch, not the third pitch swinging this time up. 1 out, nobody on. The pitch from Torres. This one's flied into right. Carrillo there makes the play in right field. And now 2 are gone after 8 pitches in the inning.
Now batting, the shortstop, Nick Saylor.
Nick Seiler at the plate now. His first time up, struck out looking on 3 pitches, saw 3 straight strikes. Sees his first ball of the game. It's now 1-0 to him. Seiler, the shortstop, had an error in the bottom of the second inning. Capozzi reached on his error as Seiler grounds this one up the middle. Burford slides, gets up on his knees, throws over, but Seiler's in there safely. It's an infield single for Seiler, and now there's a runner on with 2 outs.
And after a very poor at-bat for Nick Seiler where he saw 3 straight pitches in the zone for a strikeout in the first, he comes back, first pitch ball, then sees a pitch in the zone that he likes and shoots it right back up the middle for a single.
Zach Morris, the right fielder, up at the plate. He has a runner on and 2 outs. Torres nods his head. And the first pitch is grounded to Suji. Goes over his head, off of his glove, and that's going to be another single. So back-to-back singles on back-to-back pitches for the Cubs. And now there's runners on first and second with 2 outs.
And Suji, not a regular infielder, not a regular third baseman, typically behind the dish at catcher. So we normally see at third base Reagan Burford, Grant Smith sometimes. And then that ball bounced right over the head of Suji. You wonder if there is a more traditional third baseman at that bag if he makes that play.
Suji trying to find playing time with a loaded catching group. It's about 6 catchers around the team. Torres looks to second, and the pitch to Andrade is fouled away. 0-1 to Andrade. Mentioned it before. Andrade last inning got hit by a pitch on his third pitch of the bat. Saw 2 balls before being hit by a pitch. He then advanced to third on a single from Brandon Lawrence. Then after getting to third, he came in on an RBI groundout from Jordan Harris. Pitch misses outside. It's now even 1-1. So far in this inning, it's been 13 pitches from Torres. The 1-1 swung on and missed. It's now 1-2. Torres gets ahead. Runners on first and second. After back-to-back singles from Nick Seiler and Zach Morris. As the pitch is outside, it's even now 2-2 to Andrade. Andrade, the first baseman, he's wearing number 11A. So there's two players in the starting lineup today for the Cubs. They're both wearing 11. Jordan Harris, he's wearing 11B. Andrade, he's wearing 11A. Runner goes from second. Ground ball hit to Capozzi. Andrade's out on the unassisted play to first. So, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Oaks, they trail 1-0. You are listening on the Conejo live stream brought to you by KDTV. Bottom of the 3rd inning, and boy, oh boy, am I excited. How about you, Ryan? Cody Sulak, the bullpen catcher, who's gotten a little bit of playing time behind the dish. He's up for his first at-bat of the season.
And the last Oak to get an at-bat this season, Cody Sulak, we've been rooting for it in the booth. Now we're finally going to get to see what he can do.
First pitch to Sulak, misses high and inside. It's now 1-0 to Sulak. Yeah, I know. Cody and I and Ryan, we've all been talking a lot throughout the season. You know, we've been rooting for him to finally get an at-bat, but now finally does here. It's only taken, 7 games or so? As Sulak fouls this one away, it's now 1-1. Can't even keep track of how many games we've been.
I believe it's 8 games because we've had 5 games this week. We had 3 games before this week, so I think that's 8.
So this is the ninth game.
The
ninth game. Wow, yeah. Time flies.
The season's flying. We're almost a quarter way through.
The 1-1 pitch to Sulak misses inside. It's now 2-1 to him. Sulak, a young man that goes to Pacific University. That's up in Forest Grove, Oregon. It's in the Portland area. He's a political science major there. As he swings and misses on that one, falls even at 2-2.
That's a strong breaking pitch right there for first Seth. He goes off speed after he speeds up Sulak. So off speed, Sulak just out in front on a pitch, center cut.
Sulak was the offensive MVP in high school as he fouls this one away. Bat's going to continue. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up. As the Gold Coast League offensive MVP, he hit .395 as a senior in high school.
And a little bit more about his high school, and I was planning on getting to this on the defensive side of things, but him and Chris Torres, the starting pitcher, they actually went to rival high schools. Torres, he went to Sierra Canyon.
As the ball is in the dirt, it's now 3-2 to Sulak.
And in that league, in high school, they were in the same league. Sulak, he was named the first team all-league, And Chris Torres, he was the MVP of the league.
Sulak fouls this one away. He's battling. It's now the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
So the battery connection today for the Oaks, they have a little bit of history as Torres got the better of Sulak in the championship game for their high schools when they met in high school. And now, apparently when they came to the Oaks, they didn't even recognize each other.
The payoff pitch misses low in the dirt, and Cody Sulak's first at-bat of the season ends in an 8-pitch at-bat and a walk.
Cody Sulak leading the Oaks in on-base percentage. 1 plate appearance, 1 walk. That is a great at-bat for Sulak, especially after going down early, able to battle back, only see the pitches that he likes into the strike zone, and then watch pitches as they go outside. Great eye, great battle, and great first at-bat for Sulak.
And you know Sulak was hungry for that first at-bat. You know, he stayed humble, was like, it's going to come, it's going to come. Today it finally came and ends in a walk. Hopefully we'll get more plate appearances and at-bats throughout the remainder of the game as the starting catcher today. Not a catcher today, but a third baseman, Caden Suji, up at the plate. As Suji rips a single to left field, Sulak over to second. The play is made from Fleming in left field. He throws it into the shortstop, Seiler. And now 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
And that's Suji's first hit of the season.
Now batting, the right fielder.
Suji, prior to that at-bat, he had no hits and 3 strikeouts in 4 plate appearances.
So a good opportunity for a few of the Oaks that haven't gotten a ton of plate appearances now to get to the dish, and 2 successful at-bats back-to-back for the Oaks.
Now up to the plate, Austin Carrillo, as he stands in with 2 runners on and nobody out. Carrillo shows bunt, then pulls back. Pitches outside. It's 1-0 to Carrillo. Carrillo, his first time up, had a 2-2 count before striking out swinging. So it was a 5-pitch at bat, ending in a strikeout. Looking for better luck here. Tying run in scoring position. Carrillo shows bunt, bunts up the first base line. Coming over is Andrade. Nobody's at first, and Carrillo's on with a bunt. Carrillo sees 2 pitches. The first one showed bunt, pulled back. This time he lays down the bunt, gets an infield single on the bunt, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And coming up to the plate is number 14, Raul Sandoval.
And you knew right there with Carrillo's speed, and it looked like the pitcher on the mound in first half did not get a good jump off the hill. As long as Carrillo was able to get past Andrade at first, he was going to be safe. He scampered up the line. The play was going to be close, but Andrade not able to pick up the ball and tag Carrillo, and Austin's speed just too quick.
Sandoval takes the first pitch low and outside for a ball. It's 1-0 to him. Sandoval, his first time up, it was a battle. It was an 8-pitch at bat. It was a full count before Sandoval struck out swinging. Him and Carrillo both started with strikeouts. He's looking for a similar result to Carrillo. A single here would drive in a couple of runs as he fouls this one away. It's now 1-1.
And it's not characteristic for Sandoval or Carrillo to strike out this season. Sandoval, just 1 strikeout on the year. His second came earlier in this game. And then Carrillo, his first strikeout on the entire year came at the top of the first inning. Or the bottom of the first inning. The top of the bottom of the first inning.
Pitch misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Sandoval. Still nobody out. First 3 runners have gotten on. It's been 2 singles and a walk. The payoff pitch. And this one's grounded foul. It's not a payoff pitch, as now the count is 2-2. Don't know where I came up with that one. Got a little excited after the last time it was a full count to Sandoval.
Well, it's big. It's a big at-bat for Sandoval. And right there, the entire Oaks dugout thought it was fair. I thought it did bounce a little bit foul. Sulak watched it go right by him on the inside of him. But Sulak was in foul territory and up the line a little bit. It curled outside the bag, and once it got past Sulak, Cody, he was trying to scamper home. Then told he had to go back.
Thought it was foul too. Could see the biased opinions from the Conejo Oaks dugout. The 2-2 pitch. Sandoval swings and misses, and it's his second strikeout of the game. Fourth strikeout of the game for the Cubs, and second strikeout for Forsyth.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Brendan Josie.
And that's a big out. We've seen the Oaks once already this season have bases loaded with no one down and not be able to scratch across a run, and that started because there was a strikeout to get the first out of the inning and then a grounded into double play. Here, that was with TJ Foreman at the dish, someone who doesn't get doubled up very often. Now with Durfee, someone who does not have the speed of Foreman, a double play a little more likely.
Durfee grounds the first pitch foul. It's now 0-1 to Durfee. Believe in that at bat on that bases loaded. It's maybe a fly out to the infield, not a strikeout.
Yes, but an out that did not advance the runners. Thank you for the correction.
Nevertheless, 0-1 count to Durfee. Durfee, his first time up, grounded the first pitch right back to the pitcher. That was Fitzharris. Faces an 0-1 count here. Pitch is low and in the dirt. It's now even at 1-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. First 3 runners, Sulak, Suji, and Carrillo all got on. Sulak with a walk, and Suji and Carrillo with singles. Durfee trying to drive in a run. Durfee grounds this one to the second baseman. Harris flip over to Silo. The throw to first, he got him! And for the second time this season, the Oaks haven't scored after getting bases loaded with nobody out. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the 3rd or 4th inning. The Oaks, they still trail 1-0. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 4th inning, Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you. Ryan, the next 3 play-by-play innings are yours.
Chris Torres still on the hill for the Oaks. He's going to face off against the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Cubs. Taylor Trachtenberg, the first man of the inning. Watches the first pitch below the knees. The ball, 1-0. Torres, he's been opening up with first pitch strikes, at least in the first 2 innings. Then we've seen here in the 3rd and now early in the 4th, first pitch balls as he lets the count go 2-0 as a pitch gets away from him elevated. Sulak out of his stance. Torres, a pitcher that will slow things down with his breaking pitches. He has a curveball and a slider in his arsenal. He told me about his changeup. He said it's not very good. The 2-0 in there on the inside half of the plate at the knees for a strike. He has a fastball that tops out in the high to mid 80s, but the breaking pitches, they slow all the way down to low 70s. This one an off-speed pitch, shot the other way. Carrillo underneath it, makes the grab in right center field, and the first out of the inning is recorded.
And Carrillo playing in right field for the first time in his career at this ballpark. You know, he goes to Cal Lutheran University, normally plays left field, has played a little bit of center field, but today playing in right field for the first time in George Sparky Anderson Field. Had a little bit of a flat read on that one before moving back and making the play. Be interesting to see how he adjusts his in right field throughout the game.
Brandon Lawrence watches a sweeping curveball that just misses the zone outside of the plate. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 into Lawrence. Cut through, chopped to first base. It's on the inside part. Capozzi makes the snag. Steps on first base unassisted. The second time that Capozzi has retired a batter by himself, and the second time in the last 3 batters that he's done it. He ended up the 3rd inning with a ground ball to himself where he stepped on the bag.
That was a nice play by Capozzi. 6'8" in size, able to stretch out, slide, and make a nice sliding play right down the line. It was fair, and taps on the base. And already 6 pitches and 2 outs.
Jordan Harris, the second baseman, right-hander in the box. First pitch to him, big hack that he whiffs on. 0-1 the count. His last time up, grounded out to Grant Smith at shortstop. The 0-1, Torres just brushes back on the inside part. 1-1. We saw Jordan Harris turn in, try to get caught with that one on the inside part of the plate and protect himself from a ball that could potentially hit him. The 1-1. Breaking ball in the zone on the outside half. Started above the letters, dropped into the zone, and it froze Jordan Harris, and he's behind in the count. 1-2.
Yeah, that was a filthy pitch right there by Torres. Didn't think it was going to be a strike, and then it just dropped in the zone.
The 1-2. In the dirt, trying to induce a swing. Sulak goes down to block it. 2-2 the count.
Sulak, a great play right there. Has been pretty good as a defensive catcher. Seen a lot of work in the bullpen.
The 2-2. Cut through and missed. Torres gets through a 1-2-3 inning, ending it with a strikeout. The Oaks, they're still trying to come back. In the bottom of the 4th inning, the Cubs, they lead 1-0. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on the Conejo Oaks YouTube channel. Bottom of the 4th inning. 4, 5, 6 in the order. Smith, Capozzi, Burford. The men that are set to face off against Dylan Furseth. Action for the first time today in the Cubs bullpen. First pitch to Smith. Clips him. He's going to get aboard with a hit by pitch. It got him right on the sleeve. I'm not sure if it actually hit body. I'm not sure Grant Smith even knew that it hit him. He seemed shocked to be awarded first base, but it did catch the jersey and the cloth. So the umpire awarded him the bag.
Yeah, Smith just stood in the box, was like, where's my second pitch? And then the umpire walked in front and said, hit you on the elbow? You're going to first. And now Smith finds himself there.
And if I'm behind the scenes in a baseball organization, I might just get the baggiest jerseys I can find. The ones that just leak off the arms on the sleeves as much as possible. So they drop into the zone, and then if it catches fabric, it counts as a hit by pitch. First pitch to Capozzi. Misses the dish, low and away for a ball. Last time Capozzi, he reached on an 0-2 count. Hard hit ground ball to shortstop that was not handled cleanly by Seiler. The 1-0. Off speed in the zone. Capozzi watched it catch the outside part of the plate. 1-1.
Going back to what you said about the baggy jerseys, saw Walnut Creek a couple weeks ago. Or not weeks ago, I guess it was last weekend. Boy, time does fly. They had 2XL jerseys.
Capozzi drives one to right. Back against the wall. It's going to drop. Smith to third. He's rounding. He's going home. Capozzi to second. A stand-up RBI double for Robert Capozzi off the wall in right. And the Oaks, they tie this game back up at 1 apiece.
And that was a heck of a hit right there from Capozzi. Smith was running on the play, then had to stop for a second, realized that Harris wasn't going to make the play. Morris wasn't going to make the play. Morris had trouble at the warning trap. He slipped as he was going to corral the ball, went off the wall. Then Capozzi finds himself on second. Smith able to go back to first and then back around second and third to home plate on the play. It was an overall great play, and it's all tied up at 1.
And it's another great addition to Robert Capozzi's raking season. As Reagan Burford steps in, he squares to bunt, pulls back, and watches the first pitch miss low. A ball, 1-0. Capozzi on the season, batting .375 on the year. That is his third extra base hit, his third double of the season. And that ties him for the team lead in doubles. The 1-0, Burford grounded softly. Third baseman picks it up, throws over to first. It's in time. Trachtenberg cut it off from Seiler. Would have been a tough play for the shortstop to backhand and then throw, but with the momentum that Trachtenberg had coming in, he was able to get all the way behind the pitcher's mound before he threw that. So an easy throw with easy momentum as the runner advances to third base. Capozzi on third, 1 out in the inning, as well as a run scored in the inning. Andrew Sharp steps in, flares one into left field. Seiler makes the catch. Capozzi not able to advance, and now there's 2 down. First pitch swinging. It looked like Sharp had a chance to drop one into left, but Seiler got a beat on it and was able to catch it before it fell to the turf.
And it was just a bloop off the left part of the bat, and right there, Seiler getting a lot of range. That one went almost towards the line. It was right behind where the third baseman currently is positioned. He had to make up a lot of ground, but made a nice play and holds Capozzi at third.
And that brings up Cody Sulak. First pitch into Sulak. Off-speed pitch. Dove away from the zone, but still caught the part of the plate for a strike. Sulak behind, 0-1. He battled back from behind in the count last time up and walked on a full count in which he saw a few 2-strike counts as he fouled off pitches. The 0-1 misses the zone, a similar pitch to what we saw last pitch. This time it dove outside of the zone. 1-1 the count. Sulak in a big spot here. The go-ahead run on third. The 1-1 lifted into right field. Back is Morris, looking up at the wall. It's going to drop. Sulak headed to second base. Capozzi comes home. An RBI double for Cody Sulak. His first hit of the season. And in 2 at-bats today, he's gotten on with a walk and gotten on with an RBI double to give the Oaks a 2-1 lead.
And Sulak right there rips one opposite field. The ball just kept on drifting. You can see the wind. The flag is blowing pretty straight right now as it was going towards that right field side. And, you know, Sulak, he's happy right there, celebrating on second. His first hit as a Conejo Oak.
Sulak being held on at second by Harris. Suji to the plate. First Seth goes to the dish and gets a strike at the knees. 0-1 to Suji. Last time up for Caden Suji, he got his first hit of the season. So in back-to-back innings, we see Oaks with their first knocks of the season. Sulak in the fourth and Suji last inning in the third. Suji now with a runner in scoring position trying to advance that as this ball bounced right back up the middle. First Seth can't handle it. Morris at first tries to throw on to first. Suji gets aboard. And what are we crediting that as? Because now there are runners on the corners.
I think I'm going to call that a hit. I mean, it was a hard hit right up the middle. It just went right off of First Seth's mid, but that was a reaction play by First Seth, so I don't know. To me, maybe an infield single.
Let's call it an infield single. Caden Suchi 2 for 2 on the day. The second time today that he has reached base. The second time today that he has gotten a hit. The second time on the season that he has gotten a hit. And that brings up Austin Carrillo with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Sulak at third, Suji at first. The last time we saw Cody Sulak at third base, the Oaks had no outs but were not able to score in the inning. Austin Carrillo, his last time up, he reached base with a bunt down the first base line, credited as an infield single. First pitch to him, fastball with arm side run that caught the outside part of the plate. A strike, 0-1 the count. Carrillo, his first time up, struck out for the first time all season. Suji goes, Carrillo swings, the throw down. Not in time to get Suji, and Sulak's going to run home. So the Oaks going to score. Suji and Sulak, great designed base running by the Oaks, and it's a 3-1 Conejo lead.
And that's a play that I would do when I was playing Little League Baseball. You have runners on the corners. You have the man at first base head over to second. As they throw to second, you have the runner at third run home because they're more focused on tagging the runner at second. Suji gets in there safely. Sulak comes home, and it's easy money. It's the third run.
0-2 to Carrillo, fights it off above the screen and off the roof above us. The count still 0-2. Now still a runner in scoring position. This being Suji at second base. The first stolen base for Suji of the season. Forseth checks the runner, goes to Carrillo, misses outside, a fastball low and away. 1-2, Carrillo working back in the count. Carrillo on the season has 5 singles as well as a double. The 1-2 into Carrillo. Skied high in foul territory. Coming in is Trachtenberg. Makes the squeeze towards the Oaks side of the dugout. So the inning is retired, but not before the Oaks scored 3 runs on 3 hits with no errors and a single man left on second base. Cody Sulak, Caden Suji, Robert Capozzi all get on with hits.
Fans, it's raffle time.
And the Oaks, they take a 3-1 lead as we head to the top of the 5th inning on the Oaks live stream. Top of the 5th inning, the Oaks, they scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th to take a 3-1 lead. Tristan Settlemeyer starting off the inning. He sees a fastball that he cuts through. Down in the count, 0-1. 8-9-1 up to the plate to start off the inning for the Cubs. That's Settlemeyer. On deck is Isaiah Fleming, and in the hole is Max Porter, excuse me. The 0-1, skied foul, out of play. 0-2. Last time up, Settlemeyer, he saw a 2-strike count, flew out to shortstop. And now the Cubs' third base coach finally running onto the field. And swing and a miss from Settlemeyer. Torres slowed him down, a breaking ball, and the second consecutive strikeout for Torres, the 4th of the day for Chris.
The left fielder,
1 down here in the 5th inning.
Isaiah Fleming.
And that's the second time that Torres has struck out a batter on 3 pitches, has a strikeout on 4 pitches as well, but he's been really dominant when he gets those Ks.
Torres now looks into Isaiah Fleming. Breaking pitch to start the count, misses the zone, a ball, 1-0. And Torres, he said he'll throw that first pitch slider to righties and lefties. It will die away from the righty like it did on the last pitch. The 1-0. Fastball inside. Over to Suji at third. Throws to first. Capozzi goes up, gets it, keeps his foot down on the bag, and Fleming is retired.
And 2 quick back-to-back outs for Torres. He's making this inning work really easily.
He's made the entire game look easy.
Yeah.
Through 4 2/3, he's under 50 pitches, to my count at least.
I have 52 pitches.
But right around 50 pitches through 4 2/3, that is a solid outing. That is an efficient outing for Chris Torres to start.
Ooh.
Now at the top of the order, the third time through for the Cubs, Max Porter watches a ball in the dirt, miss, 1-0 the count. Porter has not reached base yet today, grounded out to third, flew out to right, excuse me. The 1-0, sweeping breaking ball. It almost dropped into the zone, but came in above the letters. 2-0 the count. Torres behind. Nods to Sulek. The pitch. Lined into left. Underneath it is Sharp after it drops in front of him. And a 2-out single for Max Porter. The Cubs, they have a little bit of life. So the tying run comes to the plate.
The shortstop.
And that ball was hit on a rope right at the left fielder, Sharp. Sharp didn't have to move too much, just had to come in a little bit, make the play, but it's excellent 2-0 hitting for Max Porter.
We see Brandon Madrigal start to get active in the pen for the Oaks. Throwback to Porter at first, he dives in safely. And I think it's comical, the Max Porter to Robert Capozzi difference, and that's how tall I look, probably even a little shorter next to Robert Capozzi, but looking at it from here, it looks funny how tall just Robert Capozzi is compared to everyone else. Sulak, the throwback, trying to backpick after the first pitch to Seiler was in there for a ball. Back in safely is Porter at first. Right now, if you head over to the Oaks Twitter, you can get a custom phone wallpaper for the Conejo Oaks. The runner's going. Sulak throws down. Porter in there safely. Burford could not apply the tag in time. And now a runner in scoring position for the Cubs.
And the Cubs, their first time they got a run, it was on a 1-out. It was a 1-out ground out. Now here they're going to have to swing with 2 outs.
2-0 count to Seiler. The pitch misses low below the knees. First base is open after that stolen base. Chris Torres behind in the count, 3-0. We've seen him in this inning get a 3-pitch strikeout, then start out with the ball before the ball was put into play. Start out with 2 balls and now a 3-0 count. So 1 more ball in every count that he's seen this inning. And now he sees a strike on the outside part of the plate. Get a call his way. 3-1. Burford holding the runner on at second base. A big gap in between the second baseman and Capozzi at first. Burford fakes the pick. Torres steps off the hill.
And Torres, that last pitch was his 60th pitch of the game.
Starting to get up there in terms of his pitch count, at least in CCL. We haven't seen too many Oaks go that deep into games. The 61st pitch fouled off against the screen, and the count is full into Nick Seiler. So I presume that Madrigal, who is getting work in the pen, who we talked to before the game, is probably going to come in for the top of the 6th inning. Torres trying to close his day with just 1 earned here through 5. The payoff pitch, breaking ball, just misses the zone. It looked like it dropped in there, but it came through across the plate above the letters. Seiler aboard at first. And now there's 2 runners on for the Cubs.
And I know I'm the broadcaster for the Conejo Oaks, but man, that pitch looked really good to me. It looked like it dropped in and got the call. I don't know. How about you, Ryan?
I thought it was a well-executed pitch by Torres, but sometimes when the ball crosses the plate and when it hits the catcher's mitt, it's different, especially on the breaking ball that Torres has. First pitch, chopped behind home plate. Zach Morris, the right fielder, the man in the box. He is the last man before Max Porter got on to get a hit for the Cubs. He singled in the 3rd inning. Now he sees runner in scoring position and 2 on. The 0-1. Breaking ball just outside of play and foul. Capozzi, full extension to try to get to that ball. Could not get it. But the Oaks, they catch a break as it lands just outside of the chalk at first.
And Capozzi laying out, I mean, that's a lot of length right there to lay out. 6'8", his size. We've mentioned it so many times this season, but a diving Capozzi, that takes up a lot of range.
Now the 0-2, Torres ahead. A slider and a curveball, as well as a fastball in his arsenal. Which one is he going to go to here? The runners go. This pitch, lined into left center field, is going to get down. Throw in by Sandoval. In time, the runner to the plate. And he dives in. 2 runs on the RBI double for Zach Morris. And this game is back tied at 3.
And right there, the outfield was shifted to the right. You saw Raul Sandoval, who's the center fielder. He was shaded to the right side of the second base side for the lefty hitter. But Morris, he rips it in the opposite direction of where Sandoval is. He rips it to left center, right into that gap, right where nobody was as everybody was shifted over. It was a long run for Sandoval, and 2 runs came in to score. And, you know, we're tied again.
So Torres, first pitch into Andrade. Misses the zone, a ball. Torres got through 4 2/3 innings with allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. Now he's allowed 3 consecutive base runners trying to get out of the 5th inning. A runner on second, 2 down, back pick, Burford. The tag made, but not in time. Morris able to dive back in safely. The first time all season for either team of the Oaks have played that we've seen a back pick attempt at second base. Burford holding the runner on. Torres to the plate. Ball misses on the inside half of the plate. 2-0 the count. Andrade ahead. Torres trying to work back here in the count. The 2-0. Misses low and away. A ball. 3-0 the count.
And it seems like throughout the game we've seen Torres miss in low and outside situations. It's been a heck of a job by Cody Sulak. Hasn't allowed a pass ball, but he's had a lot of plays that he's dove for and gone to that lower left, right, or lower right side.
The 3-0 misses away a 4-pitch walk. 4 consecutive batters aboard for the Cubs, and Cody Sulak going to trot out to the mound to talk to his pitcher as well as pitching coach Scott Radinsky. You wonder if the change is going to be made to Madrigal here, or if they're going to ride with Torres throughout the rest of the inning. Radinsky to the mound, talking to his pitcher. 2 runners on. Zach Morris at second, Antonio Andrade at first. Andrade, he's reached base twice today now. Has not recorded a hit, was hit by a pitch in the second inning. He was the first run of the game for the Cubs. And then, right here, reached base on a 4-pitch walk. Radinsky taps Torres on the shoulder, sign of encouragement. Tells him, get out there, get this out. And Radinsky is going to head back to the dugout. Torres still remains on the hill. His day not done yet. Still needs 1 more out before he can pass the ball to Brandon Madrigal. Taylor Trachtenberg comes to the plate. Flew out to third, flew out to right. Those are his 2 at-bats so far today. The third at-bat, he watches a pitch. Center cut fastball, catches the zone, does not offer. 0-1 the count. Torres looks in. Murford holding the runner on at second. Torres checks, back pick, not in time. The runner, Morris, gets back in safely. Outfield playing standard to a right-handed hitter with the wind blowing out towards right field. The 0-1 to the dish, misses outside, 1-1 the count.
And Torres, that was his 70th pitch now.
This inning, we've seen Torres with his highest pitch count so far. Makes sense as he's getting up 2 runs. This pitch grounded right back up the middle, gets past Smith. The runner's going to come around. Sandoval the throw, he throws to third. The runner into third safely. Suji tries to make the tag, not in there. So a single for Trachtenberg. He advances to second on the throw to third. Another run scores for the Cubs. And now 2 runners in scoring position as Dave Solis is going to come out to the mound. And I believe he's going to make the pitching change. Brandon Madrigal going to come in for Torres. That means we're going to take a break on the Conejo Oaks live stream. The Oaks, they now trail 4-3 to the Cubs. We'll be back after the pitching change. Brandon Madrigal on the mound. He's coming in the jam. 2 runners in scoring position. Coming in for Chris Torres. Torres' final line, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch, 4 earned runs, on the hook for 2 more. First pitch into Lawrence. It gets behind him. The runner going to come to the plate. And a wild pitch scores another run. That one, an unearned run for Torres, so does not get credited with that, but not also credited to Madrigal as the wild pitch gets away.
And Madrigal, his first time pitching, he struggled a lot. Walked 4 straight batters to give up the lead, or give the Foresters the lead.
Second pitch in through the hole between third and shortstop, so an RBI single for Brandon Lawrence, and the Cubs take a 6-3 lead. A big inning for the Cubs here.
Now batting. The second
And
baseman.
Lawrence had the single in the second inning. Now on with another single here. He's been a great hitter for the Cubs, but 5 runs now on the inning for the Cubs, and all of them have come with 2 outs.
Pitch in, cut through, missed. Jordan Harris could not catch up to that fastball elevated. 0-1 count. Harris, the only batter for the Cubs that has not seen the plate this inning. On deck, Trent Sittlemeyer, the leadoff man in the inning. The 0-1, in at the knees for a strike. Madrigal ahead in the count, 0-2. And this is really the first time all season where we've seen Madrigal ahead in the count.
Madrigal likes to throw that fastball. Was telling me he started getting recruited by major colleges in the 8th grade after he was topping out at 84 miles per hour.
The 0-2 swung on and missed. Madrigal gets out of the inning with his first strikeout. The Oaks, they now trail 6-3 after the Cubs put up 5 runs on what was a 4-hit inning. No errors and a single man left on base. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th on the Conejo Oaks live stream. The Oaks trying to bounce back for the second time in this game. New pitcher on the mound for the Cubs. It's going to be Justin Vose.
The center fielder.
Raul Sandoval leads off the inning. Vose is a left-hander. He's facing off against a right-hander to start the inning. Then Durfee, a left-hander, and then Smith, a right-hander. Sandoval struck out twice in his 2 at-bats so far in this game. A long battle in the first inning in which he struck out. First pitch into him in the 5th inning. Catches the zone for a strike. Sandoval also struck out in the 3rd inning as well. Those are his 2nd and 3rd strikeouts of the season. So more strikeouts today than he had on the entire season coming into the day. The 0-1 pitch, lined into center field. Coming in is Porter, and he makes the grab. A long run for Porter in center, but he's able to come in and grab it before it hits grass. 1 out in the inning.
The designated hitter.
And that was a soft blooper right there. Thought maybe that one was going to get down, but it was a nice play by Porter to sprint towards that second base side. It was a tough play for all the infielders. It was a little bit too much in the outfield, but a little bit too in for an easy play from Porter. Makes it look easy as he sprints and makes the play.
Brendan Durfee comes to the batter's box, the left-handed box. He's grounded out twice today. Once right back to the pitcher, and then he grounded into a double play with the bases loaded to end the inning in his last time up in the 3rd. Right here, you watch the first pitch go by, but off the plate, 1-0 the count. The top of the order for the Oaks has struggled. The bottom of the order has been successful. Here, Durfee trying to change the tides. The 1-0, cut through, fouled off, out of play, 1-1.
And Durfee, a back pocket out type of guy. How do you feel about that one, Ryan?
You know, yesterday he had his back pocket out. I took some objection to it. You know, I'm not a fan. I'll bring it up to him later if I remember. It'll be an intense line of questioning. The 1-1 comes to the plate above the letters, a ball, 2-1. Grant Smith in the on-deck circle. Capozzi in the hole if one of these runners gets on. We haven't seen Brendan Bobo or JT Naviak today. They're both on the bench. The 2-1, cut through and missed. And Durfee not happy with himself. A breaking ball in the dirt and maybe an expletive coming out of Brendan Durfee's mouth after he missed.
Yeah, he was absolutely fooled on that one. You could see the players hear the players in the Cubs dugout go, ooh, as he got him fooled.
The 2-2. Durfee, the first time seeing 2 strikes today. The pitch in, cut through and missed. Brendan Durfee sat down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning now. And now Grant Smith trying to get a 2-out rally in the bottom of the 5th inning. Smith on the season batting .250, .361 on base percentage. He has 8 hits in 32 at-bats. In this game, he reached once with a hit by pitch, came around to score. That was last inning. This time, a pitch inside. Gets away from the catcher and to the screen, but no runners on to take advantage. So a 1-0 count into Smith.
And that one ran a little inside there, almost hit his foot. Thought maybe he'd be going to first base for the second time on a hit by pitch. That one just misses in the dirt.
The 1-0. Vose to the dish. Inside. Smith has to lift his arms to avoid getting clipped again. Now a 2-0 count. First time we've seen Vose have struggle locating the strike zone. Through 2 pitches to Sandoval. A strike, and then a ball put in play. Struck out Durfee. But now behind 2-0. Smith watches an off-speed pitch. Missed the zone on the outside part of the plate. 3-0 the count. Smith looking to Mark Fitzgerald, the third base umpire, seeing if he's going to get the take sign or the green light with 2 outs.
And right there, Vose using the dirt to get a better grip on the ball.
The 3-0 elevated, misses the zone. Grant Smith has reached for the second time today. Has not recorded a hit, but a hit by pitch last inning, and now gets on with a 2-out walk here in the fifth.
The first baseman.
And that makes way for Robert Capozzi. Capozzi drove in Smith in the fourth inning with a double off the wall into right field. The power left-hander now facing a lefty pitcher for the first time on the day. Vose, a freshman. Smith goes, the pitch high, misses the zone. Smith in safely at second base without a throw. And a 1-0 count to Capozzi.
Vose right now getting talked to by the catcher. He calms him down, sends him back, but Vose, he's been missing a little high, it seems like, as he falls behind. 5 straight balls to his name. And it's hard to miss high to Capozzi.
It is very hard to miss high to a 6'8" man in the box. He does. On the first pitch now, looks in at the 1-0. Smith with the lead at second. A single should score him with Smith's speed. The 1-0 pitch, Capozzi thinks about it, gets behind the catcher. Does not get far enough away for Smith to get a jump and go. 2-0 count, Capozzi ahead. Burford on deck if Capozzi does get on.
And you can see Capozzi is waving over Smith. Smith didn't head to third. It's a tough play for Smith to read as it just got a little bit behind the catcher.
Vose checks the runner at second. Looks to the dish and checks the runner again. Now to the plate. Capozzi cuts through and misses. 2-1 count. 86 miles per hour on a fastball from Dylan Vose. Or Justin Vose, excuse me.
It's the first strike in 7 pitches from Vose.
The 2-1. To the dish. Capozzi cuts through and misses. That ball died towards the bottom part of the zone. Capozzi swung through over top of it. And now Robert Capozzi needing to battle from a 2-strike count. He's reached base twice today. Reached on an error in the second. The RBI double in the fourth. Smith in scoring position. The 2-2. Misses. Low and inside, a ball. The count worked full by Robert Capozzi. Holding the runner on is Seiler at second.
You can see a major shift right now for Capozzi. The center fielder standing about 10 feet from dead center field to the right. Definitely going for that pull hit.
The payoff pitch. Into Capozzi. Catches him. Strikeout looking. Capozzi thought it missed. He talks to the home plate umpire. He's not happy with it, but the Oaks, they're going to get sat down. Only 4 Oaks saw the plate. 1 runner left on the Smith walk. No hits, no errors, no runs. And we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning here on the Oaks live stream by KDTV. Trent Settlemyre The man who leads off the 6th inning. He was also the leadoff hitter in the 5th inning as the Cubs batted all the way around. Settlemeyer, now his first time facing off against Madrigal. And before the first pitch, Brandon Madrigal calls Cody Sulak to the pitcher's mound, gets some things ironed out, gets some signs. Sulak now trots back behind the dish. Settlemeyer on the day. Flew out on the infield in the 2nd inning and then struck out on 3 pitches in the 5th. Watches the first pitch go by him for a ball. 1-0 the count. Sulak goes down and blocks that ball, low and away in the dirt. The 1-0. The ball, the bat slips out of Settlemeyer's hands on the swing. He does not make contact. The bat and the ball both to the screen. 1-1.
And this time the bat stays in the park. Remember the last time we saw a bat go flying, it went over the dugout and out of the stadium. That was pretty crazy. When was that? It was a couple days ago.
It was a couple days ago. It was the opposing hitter for, I believe, the Santa Barbara Foresters. The 1-1 in here to Settlemeyer. Elevated inside, a ball. 2-1 the count. Sulak gets out of his stance as the ball misses high. The 2-1. Breaking pitch over the head of Settlemeyer. Madrigal needs to reel it in and find the zone. Now down in the count, 3-1. No substitutions for the Oaks yet in this game. Defensive alignment still the same. First pitch, or the 3-1 pitch to Madrigal. Settlemeyer was stepping out of the box. He's called the ball. I believe Settlemeyer was looking to call time, but he benefits because Madrigal misses the zone, and he's sent to first base. An odd pitch, an odd play, but a runner aboard for the Cubs nonetheless.
That was a weird play for sure. Nevertheless, like you said, results in the walk. Thought maybe Madrigal threw it a little high because he wasn't expecting the batter to step out of the box, but nevertheless, man on first.
Capozzi holding the runner on. Isaiah Fleming, the right-handed batter in the box. Watches the first pitch below the knees, miss, a ball. 1-0. And we've seen Madrigal struggle with his location to start out the season. He was fantastic with his location in the 5th. Did not throw a ball in that inning, but leads off with a walk here. Fleming skies one to the right field side. Capozzi coming back for it. And Carrillo trying to get it down the line. It lands in foul territory, just to the side of the chalk. The trio of Capozzi, Burford, and Carrillo now all hanging out around the Cubs bullpen where the ball dropped, but just credited as a strike in the books. So 1-1 count. Fleming slowly walks back along with the defensive men for the Oaks, returning to their positions.
And Madrigal, he's a good quality pitcher coming out of high school. He was the 32nd right-handed pitcher out of the state of California and the 315th best right-handed pitcher in the country. He's getting looked at by a lot of top colleges before settling on Columbia.
The 1-1. Brushes back Fleming, high and tight. 2-1 the count.
Chose Columbia because of the academics, knew that he wanted to go to a school with very high academics, was looking at the Ivy League, had setups to Columbia, Brown, Cornell.
The 2-1, elevated, a ball, back pick by Sulak, not in time to catch Settlemeyer diving back to first. We see Madrigal again in the 3-1 count. Last time, he let the runner go with a 3-1 ball, a 5-pitch walk. Here in danger of the same outcome. Checks the runner at first. Comes set to the dish. Line into shallow center field. Coming in is Sandoval. He makes the catch. That ball carried into mid-center field. Nonetheless, Sandoval positioned perfectly to make the squeeze. And one down is in the inning. The runner cannot advance.
The center fielder, Max Porter.
That brings up the top of the lineup, Max Porter. Porter, his last time up, started that big 2-out rally for the Cubs. The Cubs had 2 down in the 5th inning and no one on. They ended up scoring 5 runs in the inning. It started with a Max Porter single. He then stole a bag. Then a walk to Nick Seiler. A 2 RBI double for Zach Morris. Antonio Andrade walked. Taylor Trachtenberg, he had an RBI single. Then Brandon Lawrence, he singled, had an RBI on a wild pitch and an RBI on his single. And then finally Madrigal able to get out of the inning in relief for Chris Torres. The first pitch of this inning to Porter misses elevated, a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 bounces into Sulak. The runner goes. The throw down, not in time. You heard the Cubs dugout yelling, no, 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 because the ball was in front of Sulak, but Cody not able to pick it up in time to put the throw on the money. Sort of got lost at his feet. The runner dives in safely. A stolen base for Trent Settlemeyer. The count 2-0, Madrigal behind. Max Porter, the man at the dish, cuts through a pitch elevated in the zone, cannot catch up. 2-1 the count. Outfield playing straight up. Big gap between first and second base as Burford is behind the bag at second, holding the runner on. To the dish goes Madrigal. Misses the zone, 3-1. Burford and Madrigal communicating. Burford thought that Madrigal was going to pick towards second base there. On the pitch, Burford charged towards second to try to get the runner in Settlemeyer on a pick. If that was made contact opposite way from Porter, there would have been a gaping hole on the infield. Now a 3-1 to the plate, skied high and behind home plate. Out of play, Max Porter fouls it off. The count now worked full. Madrigal has seen 3 balls in every count so far this inning. 4 pitches on the walk to Settlemeyer. Or 5 pitches on the walk to Settlemeyer. 5 pitches on the fly out to center from Fleming. And now a full count into Porter. The 6th pitch of the at-bat coming in. Burford gives the pick sign. Burford thinks that he could have picked back Settlemeyer as the big lead at second base, going through signs with the pitcher in Madrigal.
Yeah, Burford and Madrigal just seem to not be on the same page right now. It seems like there's been a couple of times Burford wants to have him throw back to second, but he's just not doing it.
Madrigal to the dish. Lines shallow center field. Sandoval coming in, slides, can't make the play. Sharp can't back it up. It gets past his glove. An RBI single, and now headed to third, to the plate, to the bag. The tag applied by Suji, so an RBI scored. But the single and then thrown out at third, maybe let's call that a double with a throw out at third, brings an RBI run to the plate, but does not get aboard. A 7-3 lead now for the Cubs.
We saw Hunter Call the other day make a similar play where he dove for a ball and the ball got behind him. Sometimes you just like to see that center fielder accept that the ball's not going to be caught.
First pitch, skied high on the infield. Burford underneath it, drifts over, makes a snow cone catch, fighting the sun, but the inning is retired. So 1 run for the Cubs on just 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks, they're in a 4-run hole as they try to come back against a non-league GCCL opponent in the Cubs. In the bottom of the 6th inning on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Oaks in a 4-run hole. New pitcher on the hill, Carson Quintana comes in for Justin Vose. Vose just 1 inning of action. Struck out 2, walked 1. Did not allow a run to come across the plate. Burford, the leadoff man in the inning for Conejo, watches the first pitch, catch the inside third, a strike. 0-1 the count. Quintana, a junior out of Concordia College. The 0-1 to the plate, in at the knees and low, a strike, 0-2. We see Quintana with a rather herky-jerky arm motion. It seems like when he comes to the dish, he's very stiff and then releases the ball to the plate. The 0-2 to the plate, fouled off. Burford stays alive. In the 2 at-bats prior, Burford grounded into a fielder's choice to second and then grounded out to third.
And Quintana goes to Concordia University, Irvine, originally from Pleasanton, California, went to Amador Valley High School there, transferred from Chabot College up in Oakland.
Burford chokes up on the bat, watches the 0-2 come in and low, a ball, 1-2.
Fun fact about Concordia University, Irvine, that was the first school I got college credit from. Took a dual enrollment class at high school from Concordia University, Irvine.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
True academic. The 1-2 just misses the plate. 2-1. 2-2 rather. Burford in protect mode. Right there, the Cubs, they wanted that pitch a strike call. Now 2-2 to Reagan Burford. This pitch swung on above the letters and missed. Reagan Burford sits down on 5 pitches, and the first out of the inning is recorded for Carson Quintana.
The left fielder, Andrew.
That was a great first at bat for Quintana as he able to sent down Burford. You know, I think it's just going from the left-handed pitcher to the right-handed pitcher with a more unique motion. Definitely seems like he jerks it like you said, and you know, it's just a harder pitch to read.
Correction, Carson Quintana. Thank you for the correction in the YouTube chat. Quintana misses the plate on the first pitch, 1-0. Andrew Sharp struck out looking in his first at-bat, flew out on the infield in his second, watches the 1-0 pitch go by above in his third, and now is up 2-0. On the season, Andrew Sharp batting .235 with a .350 on-base percentage. The 2-0 misses the zone away, a ball. Close pitch on the black. The pitcher in Quintana does not get the favorable call. Sharp ahead, 3-0. Sharp has not walked on the season. The 3-0. Center cut fastball. Sharp watches it go by. He did not have the green light on that pitch. 3-1 count.
Probably wouldn't have the green light for him. You know, it's a 3-0 count. Just seen 3 straight balls. Got to hang in there and wait for a better pitch.
The 3-1 on the outside part of the plate, a strike, and now Andrew Sharp in protect mode on a full count.
And right now, Sharp, you got to take the bat off your shoulder. I get it, taking the 3-0. The 3-1, probably another take pitch after seeing 3 straight balls to start your at-bat. But here, you got to be active.
Sharp trying to avoid his second strikeout of the day. The 3-2 to the plate, fought off and flared into shallow left field. Going back is Trachtenberg. It's off his glove and down. A single for Andrew Sharp, shooting one the opposite way. And there's one runner on with 1 out in the inning.
Now batting,
And right there, it was just a bloop single right over the third baseman's head. Landed just in front of him in fair territory. It was a perfectly placed hit for a bloop single. But now, runner on first and still only one out.
And Cody Sulak to the dish. And I might say the hottest bat for the Oaks so far. The Oaks in their last 2 games haven't been swinging the bat particularly well, at least from any one person. Ansonero's probably with the best game yesterday. He had a 2-for-4 day. First pitch to Sulak, misses the plate for a ball. 1-0 the count. Sulak so far today, in his first 2 plate appearances of the season, walked in his first at-bat on a full count, and then an RBI double came around to score in his second at-bat in the 4th inning. Now with a runner on first, facing off against Quintana. To the plate, Quintana, off-speed pitch in the dirt. 2-0 count to Sulak. He's ahead early.
And Ryan Milano and I are both on the Conejo Oaks Twitter getting a custom wallpaper. You can go head over to Twitter right now and get a custom wallpaper. We both want a Cody Sulak number 6 custom jersey wallpaper. So if you want your name or any player, go and find that.
The 2-0, off-speed, finds the zone for a strike, 2-1.
The Conejo Oaks Twitter is Conejo_Oaks. If you didn't know, highly recommend go and check it out.
Our social media intern doing a great job down there, making those custom wallpapers for everyone. The 2-1, squaring to bunt is Sulak. He pulls back, the ball low and away. Now ahead in the count, 3-1. A throw back down to first, but back in easily is Andrew Sharp. Sulak trying to continue his hot day. The 3-1, cut through and missed. He was trying to get half of the lead back in one swing. The count is worked full. Second time that we've seen Cody Sulak in a full count today. First time he reached base as he's done in his 2 at-bats. That one, a base on balls. He reached third base with no outs in the inning, but was not able to score as the 3-2 struck him out looking. The runner goes, strike him out, throw him out. The Oaks inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Sharp caught stealing. Sulak goes down looking, and the Cubs take a 7-3 lead into the 7th inning. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube.
Back for the top of the 7th inning as the first pitch now low. That one's to Zach Morris. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano back with you here at George Sparky Anderson Field. Madrigal still on the mound as this one's lifted to left field. That's getting down for a single, and already another hit for Zach Morris. His last time up, he had an RBI double. This time, a single, and the man is aboard with nobody out. And coming up is the cleanup hitter, Antonio Andrada.
A night, it's everyone's favorite time of the game. We've missed the last 2 games because they've been so tightly competitive. But it's time for Guess That Player's Favorite Food. Brandon Madrigal. What's his favorite food?
Peanut butter and jelly.
It's not peanut butter and jelly.
I was really hoping it'd be peanut butter and jelly.
It is a generic answer, though.
As the first pitch to Andrade is in there for a strike. It's 0-1 to him.
There are many different forms of this dish.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I said PB&J is that he told me in high school he would always get PB&J for lunch.
Apparently that has dropped out of his favorite food rankings.
Sulak over to first after the ball to Andrade. Counts even 1-1. Morris in there safely. All right, what was the hint?
The hint was it was generic, and then there's many forms of this food option.
Oh, gosh. Is it pasta?
It's pasta.
It is pasta.
Brandon Madrigal's favorite food is pasta.
There you go.
Very generic.
You know, that's 3 in a row I've guessed right.
It is. You're on a hot streak. You might be when we're considering who the hottest oak is, it might be you.
Yeah? On Guess That Player's Favorite Food?
You know, there's a lot of definitions you could have to who's on the hot streak, and right now, everyone in the Conejo Oaks organization, which we are, we technically work for the Oaks as interns. We're on the hottest hot streak.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you are, not me.
The 2-1 pitch misses high, and now Andrade is ahead 3-1. Runner on first, nobody out. I agree. We are part of the organization, and technically we are on a hot streak. Got down 0-1 in that count to me, but then answered back with a hit right afterwards, you could say.
You've been doing a great job of one-strike hitting.
As now Andrade walks on 5 pitches. Now over to second is Morris, so 2 runners on, nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. And the Cubs, they're leading 7-3.
I believe your record on the season right now is 2 strikeouts, 3 hits. One of them came on a no-strike count. If we're counting the hints as strikes.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Andrew Sharp, a state guy.
So you know what? I'm very impressed. You're batting over 500 for the season in terms of Guess That Favorite Food.
Madrigal misses outside.
I might need to make my hints harder.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah. Not sure how Brendan Bobo feels about me being over 500 this season.
Brendan Bobo just dropped under 500 actually, so no longer a 500 hitter on the Oaks. Actually, Anson Rose has taken over the top spot for the leading batting average leaders on the Oaks, if you're keeping track.
Yeah, but Rose has, almost half, or actually more than half the at-bats that Bobo does.
429 for Arrows, 389 for Bobo. Neither of which active in this game.
The 1-0 pitch misses high to Trachtenberg. It's now 2-0 to him. Action happening in the Oaks bullpen. Looks like Aiden Garza's warming up.
That's a nice spot. What gave it away, the glove?
I think it's the throwing motion. I've seen Garza pitch a couple of times. He's a lefty. Not many lefties in the bullpen. His size. I think that's Garza.
I believe you're right. I believe that's a very good spot.
3-0 the count now to Trachtenberg.
Typically, I have trouble, especially identifying the players that are in the bullpen. Sometimes directly to their face, but most of the time when they're far away in the bullpen. Only 1 or 2 mistakes so far to a player's face. I'd say that's a decent percentage.
It's pretty good.
It's not as good as you.
Madrigal. The 3-0 misses inside, and after allowing a single on the first pitch, he walks back-to-back batters, 1 on 5 pitches, and now here Trachtenberg on 4 pitches, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. for the Coastal Cubs.
And now we see Scott Radinsky, the pitching coach. He's going to come out to the hill, talk to Madrigal,
And
see what's up, see if he's going to make a change.
I think maybe he does make the change here. You have a left-handed batter coming up to the plate. You have a lefty working in the bullpen. Or maybe he is just trying to calm him down a little bit, trying to let Madrigal work out. Madrigal, this past year, he was going to be a freshman at Columbia, but the Ivy League canceled their entire season. So it was his first time pitching this past week in almost a year and a half.
And typically when we see a pitching change made, not to cut off your point, but typically when we see a pitch change made, it is by head coach Dave Solis. Typically when we see just a typical mound visit, it is by pitching coach Scott Radinsky. So that makes me think that Madrigal is going to remain on the hill. And then the next time that a coach comes out to the mound, it's going to be the call to the pen for Garza.
Sulak gives Madrigal a pat on the back, says calm down, and heads back to the plate. It's now bases loaded with nobody out, and coming up is one of the hottest hitters of the day for the Coastal Cubs. That's Brandon Lawrence, the catcher. Lawrence steps in, Madrigal set, and the first pitch is high for a ball. Lawrence today hit a single in the second. That advanced the runner Andrade over to third. Andrade then scored on an RBI ground out. Then in the fifth inning, Lawrence hit another single. So 2 hits today, 2 for 3 performance after he grounded out in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch misses outside, and it's now 2-0 to Lawrence. Madrigal trying to work out of a jam. He's put himself in. Had bases loaded that he loaded up earlier in the week. Has another time here with the bases loaded and nobody out. The pitch in there for a strike. It's now 2-1 to Lawrence.
And that's been the big problem with Madrigal. He's been recruited to high colleges because he does have what I would call an elite level fastball. But he has struggled with command, particularly here early. And that, I think, is more of a product of the fact that he hasn't played live in 17 months. It's been a long time.
Pitch is in there for a strike. It's now even at 2-2.
It's difficult. If you're off for that extended period of time to then come back to the hill, you faced batters in live practice, but you've never faced them in a game setting. You've pitched and trained, but you haven't faced live batters. It's difficult to come back.
The 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. Brandon Lawrence is sent down looking. 3 straight strikes to him. And now 1 is gone with the bases loaded. And Jordan Harris comes up to the plate, and he's probably on one of the coldest streaks for the Cubs. So far in the second inning, grounded out to the shortstop, and in his last 2 at-bats, struck out swinging.
He was the first strikeout of the day for Madrigal. It took him 1 full time through the order to get the second, or almost full time, as it took him 8 batters.
As this one's high off of Sulak's glove, coming in is Morris to score. The runners Andrade heads to third, and Trachtenberg heads to second. So another run comes in, and now the score is 8-3 here in the top of the 7th.
And right there, that's a combination of Sulak, who's the shortest catcher on the team. It got him all the way out of his stance and elevated and hit off of the top of his glove. And Madrigal, who's had a hard time locating his strike zone.
Swing and a miss right there from Harris. Counts even at 1-1. Mentioned Harris struck out swinging his last time up. That one was on 3 straight pitches. The 1-1 lifted high into center field, ranging over is Sandoval and Carrillo. Carrillo makes the play in right center. Now throw into second as a run comes in. It's a sac fly from Jordan Harris as Andrade comes in. Trachtenberg over to third. 9-3 the score now.
Now batting. The designated hitter. Trent Settlemeyer.
Now coming up to the plate is Trent Settlemeyer. He's the DH batting in the 8th spot. Has a man on third with 2 away. as the first pitch to him is fouled back towards the netting. Ryan, saw you reach back for that one, thought you had a chance.
You know, I had a little late reaction. I was updating my score sheet, but, you know, off the bat, I think if some point of the season, if a ball's hit hard enough where the screen comes all the way back, I think we can catch one even with the screen here. That one, it had the right trajectory for it.
The 0-1 pitch was outside. It's now even at 1-1. Settlemeyer today, 0 for 2, struck out in the fifth, grounded out in the second, as this one's a curveball high and inside. Zulak put his glove on it, misses though. 2-1 now to Settlemeyer. Did walk in the sixth inning. That was last inning. Came around to score. He was the runner that scored on the Max Porter single. As Madrigal fires and that one's outside. It's now 3-1 to Settlemeyer.
And the problem we've seen from Madrigal is he just has not gotten ahead in counts. He's only gotten ahead in one count so far today. That was in the fifth inning where he struck out Jordan Harris on 3 pitches. Every other at-bat, he has been behind in the count.
The 3-1 pitch, high and inside. And now a walk.
And now we see Coach Solis walk out to the hill. That generally means that there's going to be a pitching change made.
And you can see Garza waiting in the bullpen, and now he's going to trek out to the field. So it's a pitching change. 9-3 the score, the Cubs lead. We'll take a break right after the pitching change. We'll be back. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here, top of the seventh inning, 9-3 the score. The Coastal Cubs leading the Conejo Oaks. As a new pitcher, Aiden Garza now on the mound.
Garza, he's coming in for Brandon Madrigal. Madrigal's final line. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 earned, and 2 more on the hook.
First pitch now misses outside. Isaiah Fleming, the left fielder at the plate now, has a chance with runners on the corner and 2 outs. Capozzi at first, holding the runner, as Garza fires, misses low. 2 straight balls to start out the game for Aiden Garza.
And that was a problem with Madrigal, is getting ahead in counts and first strike throwing. Right now we see Garza behind in count.
The 2-0 pitch, fouled away by Fleming. It's now 2-1. Garza, 6 foot, 195 pounds, a lefty out of St. Mary's. Was a perfect game, 500 overall prospect coming out of high school. The 186th left-handed pitcher. The 2-1 pitch misses low and inside. It's now 3-1 to Fleming.
Garza, his last appearance was against Santa Barbara on Tuesday. He had 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and no runners earned in the final 2 innings of that game.
The 3-1 pitch, low and inside, gets behind Sulak. Coming in to score is Trachtenberg. Over to second now is Settlemeyer, and over to first is Fleming on the walk. So 10-3 the score now. The Oaks, they gave up 5 runs in the 5th inning, and now 3 runs here in the 7th. They were leading 3-2. Actually, 3-1. They also gave up a run in the 6th. So now 9 unanswered runs. Garza fires this one, grounded right back to Garza. He jumps up on the mound, flip over to first, and the inning is over. So for the inning, 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Oaks, they got some work to do. They're down 10-3. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Back here, bottom of the 7th inning, the Oaks, they lose. They are losing 10-3. Almost said they lead. Been so used to them leading all season. Now they find themselves down by 7. As the first pitch to Suji hits him. He's going to go to first on a hit by pitch.
That's the 3rd time that he's reached That's the third time that he's reached base so far on the day. 2 singles to lead off his day. Now hit by pitch. And then when he came into the day, 0 for 4 in his 4 plate appearances. Now his on-base percentage is going to skyrocket. 7 plate appearances. He's reached 3 out of those 7 times, all 3 of them coming today.
So now at the plate, Austin Carrillo, the right fielder. He'll stand in with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch to him, misses outside. It's now 1-0 to Carrillo. Carrillo in the first, he struck out on a 5-pitch at bat. In the third, reached on a single. That was a bunt single up the first base line on the second pitch of that at bat. Then in the fourth inning, he flew out to the second baseman on the fourth pitch. Second pitch to Carrillo, misses inside. It's now 2-0 to Carrillo.
And it's just about time where we're going to have to start deciding who is going to be the player of the game. So far, the 2 leaders in the clubhouse, Cody Sulak, Caden Suji.
I'm more inclined to say Sulak after a walk and an RBI double. As the pitch is low again, it's 3-0.
Sulak, as you mentioned, a walk and RBI double. He worked his last count full before striking out. Suji, he's reached base all 3 times, does not have a run or an RBI to his name.
The 3-0 pitch outside, and Carrillo walks. So now runners on first and second, and nobody out.
If the Oaks spark a big-time comeback, then the player of the game is entirely up for grabs.
Absolutely, and, still have 3 more at-bats, as now there's going to be some discussion at the mound from the manager of the Cubs. It's head coach Chris Joyce there. Goes to talk to Quintana. There is a man in the Cubs bullpen, but they're not going to make the pitching change now. Quintana is still out there.
That man in the bullpen, I believe I saw his number as number 9, but number 9 is not here today, according to their manager.
Nevertheless, Raul Sandoval at the plate. He has runners on first and second and nobody out. The first pitch to him hits him. So 2 hit by pitches in the inning on the first pitch of the at-bat. The first one got Caden Suji. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And coming up, the big man, Brendan Durfee, the DH, for the second time today with the bases loaded.
Last time Durfee stepped to the plate with the bases loaded, he grounded into an inning-ending double play. This time, no outs in the inning. But he's going to try to get his first RBI on the day on a more productive bases-loaded at-bat.
Durfee, the left-handed hitter, he stands in. Big, powerful pull hitter he is. The first pitch misses outside, and it's 1-0 to Durfee. You mentioned the ground out, the double play in the third. In the first inning, grounded out to the pitcher on the first pitch, and in the fifth inning, struck out swinging. The 1-0 pitch, outside again. It's now 2-0. So far in this inning, Quintana has not thrown a strike. It's been 2 hit by pitches and 6 balls. The 2-0 pitch finally gets a strike. That one on the front of the plate. It's now 2-1 to Durfee.
And I do not blame the take by Brendan Durfee. There have been 8 pitches prior to that one in the inning. It was a 4-pitch walk, 2 hit by pitches, and then a 2-0 count to Durfee. So just force him to throw strikes.
The 2-1 pitch misses outside, and it's now 3-1 to Brendan Durfee. Durfee has spent plenty of times at this plate. Goes here to Cal Lutheran. And in a big spot here. Has a 3-1 count. Did lead Cal Lutheran in walks as a freshman. Has a chance to walk in a run. The 3-1 pitch catches at the knees. It's now 3-2.
And now it's important for Durfee here. If he sees a pitch, especially center cut, he's going to have to swing and lift one. He probably knows he's getting a fastball here on a payoff pitch. He got a fastball on the last two pitches. So he's probably expecting fastball, center cut.
The payoff pitch. Durfee fouls this one away off the netting. That's going to continue the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
And Quintana doesn't really ramp up the velocity. A bit of a pitcher. I haven't seen his miles per hour, but it doesn't look like at the plate he's throwing in the upper 80s or low 90s. It seems like he is one of the more placement type of pitchers that we've seen here at Cal Lutheran. So Durfee has to slow it down.
The 3-2 pitch in the dirt, and Durfee's going to walk. So Quintana walks in a run, and now the lead is 10-4, and the bases are still loaded with nobody out.
And this has big potential for the Oaks here to be a huge inning, as now we see the head coach, Chris Joyce, come back to the hill, and we're going to see a pitching change in a big spot.
So we're going to step aside and take a break. The Oaks, they're still trailing 10-4, but the bases are loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you. We'll take a break and be back right after the pitching change. Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Oaks have already scored 1 run off of a bases-loaded walk from Brendan Durfee. So far in the inning, 2 hit-by pitches, 2 walks, and a run has come in to score. And now the cleanup hitter, Grant Smith, up to the plate. Smith grounds this one right back to the pitcher's mound. The throw home gets the runner at the plate. It's a smart play by the new pitcher, Matt Harford. And Smith goes to first, but Creo is out at the plate.
And right there, Smith just too far out in front, right off the end of the bat, right back to the pitcher, and a really heads-up play from Hartford to be able to go back to the dish to get the force, knowing that there's a force at every bag.
So far in this inning, no hits for the Oaks, but the bases still loaded, only one out. And the big man, Robert Capozzi, the first baseman today, he's at the plate. The pitch from Hartford misses outside for a ball. It's now 1-0 to Capozzi. Capozzi, in the second, reached on an error. Then in the fourth, ripped a double to right field off the wall. In the fifth, he struck out, swinging. That was a full count to him, and now stands in for the fourth time. Third pitch to him misses low. Second pitch to him misses low. It's now 2-0 to Capozzi.
And it's important here because what we've seen from Hartford is that he's not really ramping up the velocity. He's a very much a location pitcher, and he's struggled in it early in this at-bat. So for Capozzi, wait back, watch for a pitch down the middle.
This one misses outside, so 3 straight balls to Capozzi. And now the Cubs in danger as they could walk in the second run of this inning.
And right here for the Oaks, it's for these pitchers for the Cubs, they've been struggling to throw strikes. They're not as fast as some of the pitchers we've seen in the CCL. Wait back.
The 3-0 pitch. Capozzi lifts this one to left field. Fleming is there, makes the play, and coming home is Sandoval. He slides in safely. The throw not in time, but Capozzi swings on a 3-0 count, flies a ball to left, and a run comes in to score.
And I know that was an RBI, but I don't like that swing from Robert Capozzi. Up 3-0 right there, a pitch on the outside part of the plate. It would have been called a strike, but for someone who has been struggling to get strikes in the zone, I think if you're Capozzi, you wait, watch that pitch go by, and force him to throw another one because a walk is just as good as a hit in that scenario. It's better than a sacrifice fly, and I think the chances of getting a walk in that at-bat were greater than 50%.
I agree, as the first pitch to Burford catches the zone. It's in there for a strike. It's now 0-1 to Reagan Burford.
And it doesn't really seem like this pitcher in Hartford is putting much on his fastball. It sort of seems like he's just throwing them in, making sure he gets strikes. And I was the type of pitcher like Hartford. I threw much slower than the competition, but got outs because the batters weren't used to it. For a batter, it's important to wait back.
Burford grounds this to the second baseman. Harris comes in. As Burford beats out the throw, there was a little bit of a collision by the second baseman and Smith. It was a little bit of a mix-up. They had to avoid each other, but Smith gets to second safely. Over to third now is Durfee, and the bases are back to loaded after Reagan Burford hits an infield single.
Well, they weren't trying to avoid each other. Smith was trying to avoid Harris at second, and Harris was trying to apply the tag. And straight out of the matrix, Grant Smith able to jump out from behind him, stay in the base path, and Burford able to run and get to first. And now we see Chris Joyce talking to the umpire at second base, seeing if Smith got out of the base path.
Now the umpires are going to talk to each other. In the meantime, there's also a pinch hitter in place right now, Zach Gregory.
And Coach Solis, he knows that this is a big spot, so he's bringing out the big guns. We see Gregory in at the plate. We see Brendan Bobo in as a pinch hitter on deck. So he knows right here is the time to capitalize if the Oaks want to come out of here with a win.
2 outs, bases loaded. Zach Gregory, the man out of Arkansas, at the plate. The first pitch to Gregory is outside, got away from the catcher Lawrence. The runner did not go, and Durfee. And now it's 1-0 to Gregory.
Apologies, I did not update the score after the sacrifice fly from Capozzi. So it is 10-5 now, not 10-4.
The Oaks trying to get more runs in the inning. They've scored 2. They've had the bases loaded for a majority of the inning. The 1-0 pitch to Gregory misses outside, and it's now 2-0 to Gregory.
And Gregory's the man you want at the plate if you're the Oaks to get on any way possible. Zach Gregory on the season, he has done a great job of getting aboard. He's .450 on base percentage, despite only having 1 hit on the season.
The 2-0 pitch. Late call, but caught it at the knees. It's now 2-1 to Gregory. I could see your reaction. You were a little bit surprised, Ryan.
I was very surprised, and it wasn't more so that it was called a strike. It was just how late the call was. It was a pitch on the black. The umpire sort of had to think about it and then waited a beat or two and then called the strike.
Still bases loaded. The 2-1 pitch outside. It's now 3-1 to Gregory. Gregory on the year, 5 walks. Has a chance here for walk number 6 and be an RBI as the bases are loaded.
And it's vitally important for the Oaks to score as many runs in this inning as possible, just to continue to pass the bat time after time.
The 3-1 pitch. Gregory rips this one foul. Goes towards the Cubs bullpen down there. Nobody in the bullpen.
That's going to make a long run for Matt Fitzharris. He's sitting on the bench after his outing in the first, so he has to go make a long trot down the right field line to go retrieve the ball.
So far 2 runs have come in. The full count pitch outside. And Gregory walks. A run comes in now. The base is still loaded. It's 10-6. And the tying run is coming up to the plate. And it's a big one. It's Brendan Bobo.
And Bobo, you're absolutely right. If you're trying to tie the game in one swing, you give the bat to Brendan Bobo. He has had 3 home runs on the season. He's looking for his 4th. He struggled a little bit as of late, but to these pitchers, right now, Brendan Bobo is the scariest man in the park.
So far in this game, Bobo has not had an at-bat. He pinch hits now. He's played pretty much every inning of every game up until this game, but stands in with possibly the biggest at-bat of the season for him. The bases loaded and 2 outs and his team down by 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And he's pinch hitting for Cody Sulak. Caden Suji's been playing third base in this game. We saw earlier in pregame Brendan Bobo working with a fielder's glove.
As the first pitch to Bobo was inside, but he still swung at it and fouled it away. It's now 0-1 to Bobo.
Typically in the field we see Brendan Bobo at first base, but we both talked about it when we were walking out to the field in pregame. Brendan Bobo, that is not a first baseman's mitt. He was working on his picks at third base. Potentially Brendan Bobo going to come in at third base on the defensive switch, and Suji going to go behind the dish.
The second pitch to Bobo misses low, and the count's even at 1-1. Bobo on the year, batting .389. Has an OPS of 1.130. If you don't know what OPS is, that's the on-base percentage and slugging percentage added.
On-base plus slugging is what OPS stands for.
The 1-1 misses outside, and it's now 2-1 to Brendan Bobo.
That's why it's my favorite stat. It's so self-explanatory. It's on-base plus slugging. If I didn't know what on-base plus slugging was, it's right in the name.
There you go. 2-1 the count, bases loaded, 2 outs, 10-6 the score. The Oaks, they trail. The 2-1 pitch, Bobo fouls this one down the first base side and into the Cubs dugout. It's now even at 2-2 to Bobo. Bobo, the team leader in RBIs with 12. Does have 9 strikeouts on the year. Also leads the team in strikeouts. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Bobo strikes out swinging for his 10th of the year. And Hartford, he gets out of the jam. So 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on. We head to the top of the 8th inning. The Oaks, they trailed 10-6. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Now back here in the top of the 8th inning, 10-6 the score. The Coastal Cubs, they're pulling the upset of the higher division CCL Conejo Oaks. As the first pitch now to Seiler is bunted but foul tipped and caught by Suji.
And I'm not sure why Nick Seiler's at the plate right now, because in the last inning it was ended by an Isaiah Fleming ground out to the pitcher.
It was a Max Porter ground out to the pitcher.
Oh, excuse me.
As Seiler swings and misses, it's now 0-2.
I have it wrong in my book.
Yeah, Fleming walked, and then Porter grounded out to the pitcher. It's okay, Ryan. We all make mistakes.
It's a long season. It'll happen.
The 0-2 pitch is fouled away by Seiler. The 4th pitch coming up. Aiden Garza still on the mound for the Oaks. Wearing the number 42. The windup, the pitch. Seiler grounds this to Smith. Tough hop, throw over to first. The play is made, and Seiler is retired.
Really strong play right there from Grant Smith. That ball we've seen so far in the infield, mostly at second base, but we've seen some balls that when they transfer from the grass to the dirt, they take wild hops. That one, Grant Smith able to field nicely as it jumps right into his chest, and then he's able to throw onto Bobo at first.
Yeah, that one looked like it was rolling on the ground, and then once it hit the dirt, it just popped up. You know, a lot of these infielders talking about having to wear a cup again for one of the first times in their lives, as this one's inside. Not in their lives, but in a while. They said they haven't worn a cup since pretty much about Little League, but still. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. It's even at 1-1.
And a lot of defensive realignments for the Oaks after a few pitch hitters in the inning. Brendan Bobo at first. Robert Capozzi moves from first to third. Caden Suji moves from third to behind the dish.
And Gregory in left field.
Yes, and Zach Gregory checks in for Andrew Sharp in left field. As that ball fouled hard into the dugout, avoids all the Oaks. They make it out safely.
That's very tough, especially with the way that the dugouts are here at Cal Lutheran. There's no fence between them. There's just two poles, and so you have to be very active as a watcher in that dugout. The 1-2 pitch, inside and high, counts even at 2-2 to Zach Morris.
And I'm glad I'm in the booth. I'm glad I'm protected by the screen.
Yeah.
All of these pitchers on their off days, chilling in the dugout, all of these batters that are not in the field.
As now Morris grounds this to third. Capozzi, a tough play. Throw over to first. He got him! Robert Capozzi, a tough play, and he made it look easy. A tough throw on his back foot, moving towards his right side, throws across the diamond, and gets Morris. It's a 5-3 play.
And Robert Capozzi, ever the third baseman. Look at him. Normally a first baseman or DH. Now playing at third. Ball dribbled just up the line, backhand stab, and then a throw on the money to Bobo at first.
As this one's grounded up the middle, Burford coming in, throw on the run over to first. The play is made, and Andrade is retired. So no runs on no hits, no errors, no runners left on. The Oaks, they still trail by 4. It's 10-6. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube, brought to you by KDTV. Bottom of the 8th inning, Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here at George Sparky Anderson Field. The Conejo Oaks, they trail 10-6 to the Coastal Cubs. And up to the plate now is Caden Suji. He's the 9-hole hitter, 9-1-2 coming up for the Oaks. Suji, the 9-hole hitter, followed by Carrillo, who's going to be on deck right now. He's the leadoff man to start the game. And then Raul Sandoval, he's in the hole. First pitch to Suji. Low and in the dirt. It's now 1-0 to Suji. The Oaks, their last inning, they scored 3 runs on only 1 hit. Had a lot of walks and hit by pitches in that inning. They had 9 batters come up to the plate, but only 3 runs. Suji misses outsides again. It's now 2-0 to Suji.
And Suji, he's reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate. Single in the third, single in the fourth, walk in the 7th to start that big inning for the Oaks. He's trying to continue his best day of the season.
Matt Harford still on the mound, misses inside. It's now 3-0. After 3 straight balls, you can start to see some action happening in the bullpen of the Cubs.
It's going to be Tristan Perrin who's going to start warming up.
The 3-0 pitch in the dirt, and Suji walks on 4 straight pitches.
And a great day for Caden Suji. Started with 4 plate appearances, hadn't reached base in any one of them. Now today, 4 for 4 on base percentage, 2 for 2, hits in the third and the fourth, and then a hit by pitch and a walk. A well all-around day for Caden Suji.
Up to the plate now, Austin Carrillo, the right fielder. He stands in with a runner on first and nobody out. The Oaks today, 7 hits on the afternoon, but only 6 runs. As Carrillo swings at the first pitch, this one's foul down the first base side. It's 0-1 to Carrillo. Carrillo, his first time up, struck out swinging. In the third, hit a single on a bunt. He was left stranded there. In the fourth, he flew out to the second baseman. And then last inning, he walked on 4 straight pitches. 0-1 the count. Carrillo takes this one inside. Counts even at 1-1.
And right here, what we've seen, Matt Hartford, at the end of the last inning, at the beginning of this inning, struggled to throw strikes. He got full counts against Gregory. He got 2 strikes and a strikeout against Bobo. But he has thrown a plethora of walks since he entered the game as well. So just make sure to wait back, find a pitch.
Hartford misses outside again. It's now 2-1 to Carrillo. Carrillo, in 2020, right before the coronavirus pandemic paused all sports, he was having a heck of a year there at Cal Lutheran. He was batting .423 with 8 RBIs in 14 games played. Carrillo takes another ball low in the dirt. It's now 3-1.
And right here, Carrillo, he's someone who gets aboard any way possible. Someone who now up 3-1, looking for a fastball middle. If it's not there, take the pitch.
He walked for the 3rd time of the season in his last at-bat last inning. Here, rips one foul down the first base side. Count is full, 3-2. Runner on first, nobody out still. Caden Suji, a leadoff 4-pitch walk. Now Matt Hartford, he has some work. His team's leading by 4, as the Oaks, they're still trailing 10-6. The payoff pitch. Carrillo, this one opposite field into the Oaks bullpen. You can see Brian Perez warming up down there.
And it was a great play by Anson Arrows. That ball came right behind him while Perez was pitching a warm-up pitch. Arrows had to catch the warm-up pitch, then look to make sure that he was not collateral damage on a foul ball that landed about 2 feet behind him. Good awareness all around.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Austin Carrillo, the right fielder. He's leading off today for the first time all season. The payoff pitch again, swung on and missed, and Carrillo goes down swinging.
That was a ball, and he knows it. That was a pitch that missed low and in, and he would have been aboard first base. And that is a key out for the Oaks right there.
So now Raul Sandoval coming up to the plate. The runner on first and 1 out. Sandoval playing center field today. Seen him play center field a couple of times throughout the season. Batting in the 2 spot today, as the first pitch to him swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Sandoval, his first 2 at-bats, struck out swinging. His first time in the first on 8 pitches. Second time in the third on 6 pitches. In the 5th inning, flew out to the center fielder. And his last at-bat hit by a pitch on the first pitch he saw, as this time he hits a single. It's a bloop single to right center field. Heading over to third is Suji. Sandoval at first. The throw comes in to the shortstop. And now there's runners on the corners after a single from Sandoval. And the Oaks still only 1 out.
And that's bringing up Durfee. And this is a big at-bat for Brandon Durfee. He's against a right-handed pitcher as a left-handed batter, a power hitter. The breeze drifting out to right field as it always is at George Sparky Anderson Field. 2 runners on. He has a chance to cut this game to 1 after a day that he hasn't been incredibly successful in. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, but he did walk in a run in his last at-bat, so his day is trending up.
The first pitch to Durfee misses low and in the dirt. You mentioned 0 for 3, had a strikeout in the 5th inning, grounded into a double play in the 3rd. In the 7th inning, like you said, he walked. That was a full count with the bases loaded. He later got to 3rd and was left stranded there. Second pitch to Durfee, fouled away. It's even at 1-1. Durfee, his favorite baseball memory is hitting a home run here at Cal Lutheran as a freshman. It's a big towering home run to right field. If he hits one here, it'd be similar. The wind is blowing in that direction. Has a chance here with a 3 RBI hit, if that were to be, as another pitch is outside. It's now 2-1.
And if you're Durfee, it'd be great to tie or to bring within 1 with 1 swing. But it would also be great to get aboard and load the bases for Grant Smith in the on-deck circle. It's just executing a good at-bat right here. Whether to be a home run, a single, a gapper for extra bases, or a walk, all of which are well-executed at-bats.
Durfee hits one up the middle. That's going to get down. Coming in is Suji. Heading over to third now is Sandoval. Sandoval slides head first. The ball gets past the third baseman into the dugout. And now they're going to award Sandoval to the plate, and heading over to third is Durfee. So a single ends up on third for Durfee, and 2 runs come in, and this is a 2-run game, and the tying run coming up to the plate.
And the Oaks, they looked dead in the water, down by a lot early in this game. 10-3, they've just battled back in the last few innings, and now they are one big fly away from tying this one. And Dave Solis asking for a clarification and a pinch runner because Brendan Durfee, he was almost all the way to second when the ball went out of play, but he's going to get awarded just 1 extra base, and now Hunter Call going to come in to pinch run for him. We've seen Call on the season already steal home, now on third base as a pinch runner. I wonder if that's a little bit what Dave Solis is thinking.
I mean, I don't think that Call would come in to steal home. I mean, that's a tough play as it is. And he talked about stealing home plate earlier. The catcher was just lobbing pitches back to the pitcher. It was a similar scenario where he had a right-handed hitter, so the catcher couldn't see him come in to steal. But maybe the reason why you put Call on third is Durfee, the DH. You can replace him as a DH. And a hard hit ball to the outfield could score Call. Call has speed, so the sac fly still an option. And with 1 out, runner on third, and Grant Smith, the cleanup hitter at the plate.
As well as with the infield in, put a speedier Call on the bag, a ground ball to one of the corners. Hunter Call is running on contact, and he's still probably going to get in.
The first pitch to Smith misses low and outside. It's now 1-0 to Smith. Originally, there was action in the Cubs bullpen. They came back to the dugout, and now they're walking back to the bullpen. The count. The pitch. Inside. It's now 2-0 to Grant Smith.
And Call not going to be running on contact, but is going to be running on anything on the ground.
Grant Smith, his first time up, flew out to the left fielder on the first pitch, was then hit by a pitch in the 4th, walked in the 5th, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. Smith fouls this one away. It's now 2-1 to Smith.
And the Oaks, I feel like they're just giving pitches to Matt Harford right here. That pitch was off the plate outside. It was close. It wasn't close enough for Grant Smith to get his bat on. But I think that was going to be called a ball based on the way that the home plate umpire has had a relatively tight strike zone today.
2-1 the count, 1 out, runner on third. The pitch. Smith fouls this one away, and the count's even at 2-2.
And I think that pitch would have missed low. That pitch looked like it was at the knees or a little bit below. And right now, if you're the Oaks, it's about getting runners on base. That's all you need to do. You have 5 outs to work with to try to erase a 2-run deficit with a runner on third. It's about not giving extra strikes and about well-executed at-bats. If there's close pitches, the way that Matt Hartford has shown that he has not consistently thrown strikes today, it's let the runners go. Let the pitches by.
The 2-2 pitch. Smith grounds this one shortly to the pitcher. Hartford throws to the plate. Call is out.
And that's the second time that Grant Smith has grounded a ball back to the pitcher with a runner on third base, and the second time that he's been thrown out at the dish.
Call went. The throw from Hartford at the dish in time.
The third baseman, Robert.
And now up to the plate, Robert Capozzi, still the tying run at the plate as Smith stands on first.
And it's a big difference because right there in a 2-2 count, Grant Smith now has to battle back. We don't know what the results of those two pitches on the black would have been, but I think very likely at least one of those is called a ball and Smith is ahead in the count.
Capozzi swings and misses on the first pitch. It's now 0-1 to Capozzi.
Then with a 2-2 count, he's forced to battle, make soft contact right back to the pitcher, and Matt Hartford aware again to go to the plate and get the out once again.
The 0-1 pitch. Capozzi hits this one down the right field line. That one drifts foul. It's now 0-2 to Capozzi.
And where the Cubs were in a big time hole where they had to really stress, now with a runner on third in a 2-0 count, now it's a runner on first with 2 outs in an 0-2 count. It's a big swing for the Oaks, and it was a poorly executed at bat by Grant Smith.
Still, Grant Smith at first base. 2 outs, 0-2 the count to Capozzi. Capozzi fouls this one away as Smith was heading towards second. He'll have to tread back to first. The at-bat's going to continue. The fourth pitch of the at-bat coming to Capozzi. So far in this inning, Caden Suji led off, reached on a walk, 4 pitches. Austin Carrillo then struck out on an 8-pitch at-bat. Raul Sandoval hit a single, followed by Brendan Durfee, who had a single. Durfee ended up going to third on the play. 2 runs came in to score, as now Smith goes again, and Capozzi's caught looking. So Capozzi caught looking on 4 pitches, and that'll do it for the 8th inning. So 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We head to the bottom or top of the 9th inning. The Oaks, they trail 10-8. Up to the plate now, Caden Trachtenberg, as he stands in with his team up by 2. The first pitch to Trachtenberg in there for a strike. It's now 0-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Oaks. That's Brian Perez, the righty. He's number 9.
And after a great outing by Aiden Garza, too.
Perez He delivers, and this one's fouled away. It's now 0-2 to Trachtenberg.
Garza, 1 in the third innings pitched. No hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and was not credited with any of the runs that scored.
So new pitcher in Perez, 2 straight strikes. The windup, the pitch. This one's hit right to Burford, the second baseman. The play is made, a F4 on 3 pitches. And now coming to the plate, Brandon Lawrence, the catcher.
Now batting, the catcher, Brandon
It's been an eventful game.
Lawrence.
It was 3-1 the Oaks led. Then 9 unanswered runs from the Coastal Cubs. And then since that point, the Oaks have answered back with 5 straight runs of their own. It's 10-8 now here in the top of the 9th. The windup, the pitch from Perez is outside, his first ball of the inning. 1-0 the count. Perez wastes no time, as now Lawrence grounds this to Bobo, the first baseman, makes the play, taps on the bag, and 2 are gone here in the top of the 9th.
And combined for Garza and Perez, they have retired 6 consecutive Cubs, where since the top of the order and Max Porter to end off the 7th inning. Ground out, ground out, ground out, ground out, fly out, ground out.
It's pretty good. And in that span of time, 16 pitches. Perez outside. It's 1-0 now. Jordan Harris, the second baseman at the plate. Today, a ground out, 2 strikeouts, and a sac fly. The 1-0 pitch catches the zone. It's now 1-1. Perez has been impressive all season. Coming out of the bullpen, likes to be in that starting role, but realizes his future is out of the pen. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed by Harris. Counts now 1-2. Perez originally wore number 4, but today wearing number 9. Switched his number at the beginning of the season. Saw his coach wearing his number 9 and wanted that one. The 1-2 pitch fouled away by Harris, and the 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
And a really well-located pitch right there by Perez. Right on the black on the outside corner. Harris was not going to offer. He was going to be ringing up if he didn't. Late swing, just fighting it off. Great pitch by Perez. Solid job to fight it off by Harris.
The 1-2 pitch. Inside corner, got him looking. And that'll do it for the top of the 9th inning. So no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're trying to walk it off. It's 10-8. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream on YouTube. Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here at George Sparky Anderson Field as the Oaks, they trail 10-8. And if they're going to want to win this game, it'll have to be a walk-off. Reagan Burford, Zach Gregory, and Brendan Bobo due for the Oaks.
That's who you want up if you're Conejo.
Definitely. Burford, he's going to lead things off here. New pitcher now for the Cubs as Burford now bunts. Coming in is the third baseman, Trachtenberg. Burford on with a bunt.
It's the second time in the last 2 games that Burford has gotten aboard with a bunt single, executed perfectly. He knows in this situation that they're going to try to pepper the zone with strikes. He knows he's going to get a pitch early, and he saw the third baseman back. He knows his speed, and he knows that he can execute a bunt. Perfect first pitch bunt by Reagan Burford.
So now Burford on first after the leadoff bunt. That was a 1-pitch at bat. And now up to the plate is Zach Gregory. Pinch hit for Andrew Sharp in the 7th. He walked as Gregory fouls this one high and towards the Oaks dugout. That one goes into the stands just over the netting.
Into a trash can. A fan tried to make a play. It slipped right through his hands. You got to make the athletic play.
You know, there's a reason why he's in the stands and not in the field right now.
Well, I mean, he's not in college.
Yeah,
he's
that's
a little
true.
old.
A little bit.
Little too old.
Maybe back in his day, his prime. Nevertheless, 0-1 the count, nobody out, man on first. The tying run is at the plate. Zach Gregory, the man out of Arkansas, he has a chance here to tie it with one swing or advance the runner even more as he takes a strike on the outside corner, and Gregory falls behind now 0-2.
Zach Gregory, he worked back from a 2-strike count in his last at-bat to walk. He's done it a few times this season, but now an 0-2 count. Crucial. Seeing your strikes in, seeing the balls into the zone, and putting your bat on the ones that are going to punch you out.
The 0-2 pitch. Gregory grounds this to the first base. Tapped on the back, throw over to first. The play is made. What a play from Andrade.
And that was just a really well-executed play by Andrade. He had the ball right, sharply hit on the first base bag. The runner at first had Andrade holding the runner on, so it was right into his glove, didn't even have to move. Stepped on the bag, and then the tag applied. Great play by Andrade.
Now up to the plate, Brendan Bobo. He's the last chance for the Oaks as they have 2 outs as they trail by 2. First pitch to Bobo, misses low. It's a ball. 1-0 the count. Bobo came in for Cody Sulak in the 7th, struck out swinging to end the 7th. Bases were loaded for him then, as he was the tying run at the plate. Bobo swings and misses here. It's even at 1-1.
And Brendan Bobo has a tendency to swing at balls that are below his knees low in the zone. And he has the power that he can drive a ball low in the zone and bring it out of the park. But right there, in this situation, you have to take that pitch.
Bobo fouls this one away, and the Oaks are down to their final strike of the game. It's a 1-2 count to Brendan Bobo.
TJ Foreman in the on-deck circle. He would be replacing Caden Suji if it gets to him.
So 1-2 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. The pitch. Bobo keeps the Oaks alive. It's a single to right field. Bobo's on with a base hit, and now TJ Foreman's going to come up to the plate.
So the first time TJ Foreman's going to see the plate today.
Number 11, TJ Foreman.
You know, we've talked about Andrew Sharp's walk-up song, but I think TJ Foreman's walk-up song is starting to grow on me.
Oh, I've consistently said that TJ Foreman is my favorite walk-up song. Levitating, Dua Lipa and DaBaby cannot be beat. They can't be beat. I apologize. I apologize to Andrew Sharp. You have the second best walk-up song on the team. TJ Foreman takes the cake.
Bobo faked running as the first pitch to Foreman misses low. Foreman, the tying runner at the plate. Bobo on first after the 2-out single. Burford got on with a single to start. It was a bunt single as Foreman takes a pitch outside. It's a ball.
Foreman, he has 10 hits on the season, all of them singles, so not a power threat, especially at George Sparky Anderson Field where he's a right-handed hitter and the wind.
Foreman grounds this to the shortstop. Seiler taps on the bag, flips it over, and the game is over. So the Cubs win this one 10-8. They trailed 3-1, then scored 9 unanswered runs. The Oaks' comeback effort comes just short as they lose 10-8. It's only their second loss of the season, and the Coastal Cubs in a non-league matchup get the upset over the CCL Conejo Oaks. Ryan, your final thoughts.
A poorly executed game by the Oaks, all around. All around a poorly executed game by the Oaks, both pitching outside of the final innings where Aiden Garza and Brian Perez shut it down. But in the field, on the mound, just gave up too many runs, gave up too many free bags, and at the plate, they weren't disciplined enough. They had the opportunities late. They had bases loaded in the third with no one out. They weren't able to convert. They had bases loaded in the seventh, and then they ground in to a fielder's choice to the plate. They ended up scoring a few runs in that inning, but that was poorly executed. Ground with a runner on third and 1 out in the inning, a ground out to the pitcher, thrown out at the plate, poorly executed. The Oaks, they had their opportunities to win this game. This is why it doesn't count for CCL play. It's a tune-up game. The Oaks, they should have won the game. I quite frankly think were the better team in the game, but the Cubs, they executed better. They played better. They didn't make as many mistakes in the field, on the mound, in terms of their pitch selection. When they got down in counts, they came right back into hitters and got back even and were able to find their way to get outs. The Oaks, a team that right now in this game today, I think they took it for granted they were going against an opponent that does not have the same type of Division I talent that they have. The Cubs from the GCCL, it's a lower division than the CCL. I think the Oaks took that for advantage, and they didn't execute. And that is really the difference in the game, and it's why the Oaks, they dropped their second game of the season.
Player of the game, Caden Suji.
Player of the game, definitely Caden Suji.
Suji reached 4 times on 4 plate appearances, 2 singles, a hit by pitch, and a walk. Did score 2 runs for the Oaks. So Caden Suji, the 9-hole hitter, played a little bit of third base and catcher today. Say he's the player of the game. And the Oaks, they finished their first week here in the CCL. Their first week, they lost to the Foresters on Tuesday after beating the Crawdads on Sunday. They went to Academy on Wednesday. That was a long 4-hour game. Won that game 18-10. Went to Pasadena on Thursday. Won 5-4 against the Saints. Had a tie on Friday against the Foresters.
That game will be made up, so it's not quite in the books yet.
Not quite in the books yet. It was a weird game. And then yesterday, beat the Saints 4-3, and today they lose to the Coastal Cubs 10-8. So stay with us next week as the Oaks travel for their first 4 games. They're going to be in Pasadena on Tuesday, Compton on Wednesday at the Academy. They're going to be playing Thursday in Santa Barbara against the Foresters, and Friday at San Luis Obispo before a non-conference game against the Ventura County Bucks on Saturday, and then they're going to be home against the Blues on Sunday. So, Knight Uretsky and Ryan Milano with you here today. Stay with us next week as the Oaks look to bounce back after losing today 10-8.